In Academy District 20, sportsmanship is year-round. I'm Superintendent Mark Hatchell, and I've seen countless examples of sportsmanship by our athletes, coaches, and fans. From help up after a tough fall to encouraging words following a difficult loss, our athletes know the true meaning of sportsmanship.
Gets it to Love, makes a fake baseline, goes to the middle, and throws in the hook shot.
Sportsmanship to me is respecting your coaches, officials, players, and the other fans. Cheer for your team, but also appreciate the other team.
Sportsmanship to me means always putting forth your best effort to help the team, respecting yourself as well as the others around you, and treating your body right.
Sportsmanship to me is respecting one another and understanding the other team's right to cheer.
Sportsmanship to me is respect. Respecting yourself, your teammates, and your opponents.
The set, left side, sent down, inbounds or out of bounds. That is inbounds for Amanda Cushion.
Sportsmanship is being enthusiastic about your accomplishments while also respecting other players and their achievements.
Throws the left side to the end zone, and the catch is made. That's a touchdown.
At Academy School District 20,
Sportsmanship is year-round.
Throws to Wozlowski, drives baseline, throws the shot! Oh my gosh, it goes! Oh my gosh, it goes!
Nice job keeping it alive by Swan. Back to Britton. She's got it. Here we go. Pine Creek takes game 2.
From District 20 Stadium, high school football is on the air. Welcome in Matt Pauley, Brian German, our sideline reporter, Kara Hammer, and our entire 20 TV crew coming your way from District 20 Stadium as we get set for TCA being hosted by the Liberty Lancers, second week in a row that we have had Liberty here on 20 TV. And Brian, you look at a 3A team that's obviously very good, a Liberty team that's continuing to try to get things going under a first-year head coach. This looks like an intriguing matchup this evening.
Intriguing is a good word, Matt, because I think that's exactly what it will be. Both these teams still kind of feeling their way through this season, and we'll just have to see which one gets the better of it tonight.
Before we go any further, we do want to get a few pleasantries out of the way. First and foremost, if you would like, you like that?
Nice
Pleasantries?
yeah.
Yes. If you'd like to order a DVD or a Blu-ray copy of this broadcast or any of our broadcasts this year, if you saw a broadcast earlier, maybe you saw the Liberty game last week and you said, I want that one and this one, one for $10, a special deal, 2 for $20.
That's a great deal.
It's a great deal. You can email us 20tv@asd20.org or give us a call at 719-234-1780. Also, we live in the age of social media, so what do you know? We're all over the place on social media. You see our Facebook page, our Twitter handle. You can always find out what's going on. You can see highlights of games plus entire game broadcasts by going to our YouTube channel. And then if you ever want to see our game broadcast schedule coming up and learn more about what we're all about here at 20 TV, just go to our website. And speaking of that game broadcast schedule, what do you know? You're not going to have to go to the website right now. We'll give it to you here. And you can see, Brian, tomorrow night we got another one of these bad boys.
Yeah, exciting. Discovery Canyon. We get to see them for the first time this year on the gridiron.
You know, you look at this game tonight, and we saw Liberty last week, and one of the most intriguing players in the game is Maverick Mercado. He is somebody who had a big return last week. He's had a kickoff return for a touchdown, a punt return for a touchdown, and we assume that TCA and their head coach David Burvig in his third season has to be aware of what Maverick Mercado brings to the table, especially in the return game. And for a little bit more on that, we welcome in for the first time tonight our sideline reporter, Kara Hammer.
According to Coach Mark Seitz, TCA's place kicker is outstanding, so it'll be interesting to see tonight if they kick the ball out of the end zone with Mercado on the return. On 4 kickoff returns, he has over 200 yards last week, taking 1 to the house. So, Matt, tonight it's going to be all about good field coverage for both teams.
All right, Kara, certainly appreciate that. let's go ahead and take a look at what's going to be going on. We'll start with the Liberty offense, and they are led by their quarterback and Hunter Waringa as he comes out, and you look at him, and he's somebody who can he's still trying to find his throwing arm, I think, but certainly somebody who can definitely impact a game on the ground as well.
Thrown for three touchdowns, 248 yards this year, only completing 37% of his passes. We'll see if he can calm down a little bit, maybe connect a few more tonight.
Jake Moore is somebody that will certainly hand the ball off a lot. As far as defensively, what they bring to the table, they are a team that is allowing 20 points per game. They're looking to get that number back down. It was pretty good going into last week, but then they gave up 34 points against Coronado, so this defense is certainly going to be looking for a bounce-back effort.
They certainly are, and Josh Burns probably the guy that's going to head them up. He leads them in tackles this year with 25 total tackles, 5 tackles for loss.
All right, let's tell you what they have done so far this season. Their schedule, obviously, that great win against Cheyenne Mountain, but then back-to-back losses. Keys for this team, Brian German.
The keys for Liberty, and these come from head coach Mark Seitz. First, they want to protect the football. They also want to contain the explosive offense of TCA, who can move the ball up and down the field, and they've got to make positive yards on first and second down. If you can get to 31, 3rd and 2, you're in a lot better situation. We didn't see that when they played Coronado. They had a lot of 3rd and long, so that's key tonight.
All right, let's shift gears and talk a little bit about TCA, and we'll start with their offense, and they are led by quarterback Austin Bervig. He has completed 54% of his passes this year. He's thrown for 862 yards, 7 touchdowns. They have the wing back position within this offense, and they can really run it and throw it.
Jace Hall, pretty much, Jace Hall and Nick DeRay pretty much go back and forth as far as rushing the football. 136 yards for Hall, 121 for DeRay coming into this game. Nick DeRay, also the leading receiver on this team as far as yards go. He's got 8 receptions, 228 yards.
TCA has played up and played some really good opponents this year, but in their losses, they've given up 27, 40, and 34 points. This defense has some work to do tonight.
They certainly do. We'll have to see if they can stop Liberty's offense.
And then as far as what they have done this year, I talked about playing Delta's a really good team. DCC last week is a really good team. They're playing up a classification here. They've played some tough teams. They're sitting at 1-3. They've yet to get into league play. They played this kind of non-conference schedule to get them ready for the postseason. Last year they lost to Coronado in the postseason, and they felt like they needed some more experience playing a level up. Keys to the game for TCA.
From head coach David Bervig, he says number 1 is contain Hunter Waringa. He called Waringa a very dangerous and mobile quarterback. Number 2, the defense must be disciplined against Liberty's misdirection run game and their robust pass attack. He's worried about maybe getting caught off guard with that misdirection. And then the offense for TCA needs to move the chains and keep the defense off the field.
We are just a few moments away from getting this one underway. We'll take a quick break, come back with kickoff next right here on 20 TV.
1 part excellence, 1 part inspiration, 1 part preparation for outstanding education. Academy School District 20, where dreams take flight.
Back at District 20 Stadium, we are just about set for kickoff of this one. Matt Pauley, Brian German, Kara Hammer, and our entire 20 TV crew.
We get to see what Kara talked about in the pregame right here.
Certainly so.
See if TCA kicks it away from Mercado.
TCA is wearing the white jerseys. You see them on your screen right now. Liberty at home wears the red jerseys with white trim. And we will see how this one gets underway. Again, Liberty is coached by Mark Seitz in his first year. TCA is coached by David Bervig in his 3rd season with the Titans. It's a squib kick. It's going to go out of bounds. That's a flag, and let's see if they take the field position or if they re-kick.
It certainly looked to me like they were scared of Mercado
yeah.
on that one. You're going to kick it 30 yards and out of bounds.
You know, film gets out,
yes.
And coaches exchange film as well. It's a professional courtesy within high school football.
Not to mention the highlights on YouTube.
That's
Mercado's
right.
93-yard kickoff return for a touchdown.
That thing may have gotten a few Facebook likes
yes.
and shares and that sort of thing. So let's see. Liberty is just going to go ahead and take the football, and they'll take it in good position at the 35-yard line. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left, and we've got Maverick Mercado back in the quarterback position, and it's a quick handoff up the middle, or a direct snap, and Jake Moore is going to run up, and he just gains, actually it was a handoff, so I beg your pardon, but Jake Moore gains, that was a nice carry of 6 yards, and let's see if Mercado stays back. Yeah, Mercado's calling the plays right now, so this is a bit of a surprise for us.
Yeah, we were not given the starter of Mercado at quarterback.
We got Calhoun as the Maverick is going to keep it himself, runs up the middle, doesn't have much room, and is eventually brought down.
I like the call, though. I like, you've tried Warringa for a few games, and now you got Mercado in there. Let's see what he can do. He's trying to run that lead option right here. Makes a good read, but then doesn't get a block out front there and ends up not getting any yards on the play.
I am looking for Hunter Warringa on the sideline right now, and I'm not seeing him, but that doesn't mean anything.
He's actually out on the field, I believe, split left.
Okay, so that would explain why he's not on the sideline. He is split left. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. It's going to be Mercado running up the middle.
Oh.
He's going to be close to the first down. Let's see where they spot this ball. I think he's going to have it.
He may have fallen forward for that, may have been thrown forward for it. Here's another good look at it, the fake. He finds a little hole up the middle and then gets spun around and thrown for it first down.
So what this tells us about Mercado getting the start at quarterback is that Mark Seitz is going all in on the athleticism of Maverick Mercado.
Well, we talked last week when they played Coronado about he's listed as an athlete on the Liberty roster, and he certainly can do things when he has the football in his hands.
He does have 1 pass attempt this year. It was a 43-yard completion, so he can throw the football evidently at least a little bit. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Here's a handoff right the middle to Moore, and Moore gets a yard before being brought down.
Tough run. That's some good defense up front from TCA. Got some good penetration. Liberty's going to have to do a little bit better job up front blocking to get Moore to break through there.
Couple minutes in, 2nd and 9, ball at the 46-yard line. The Lancer has made his first appearance at District 20 Stadium. He gets brought in on a pretty snazzy cart down there.
That's sweet.
Yeah, I want one of those.
Me too.
2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. It's going to be Mercado keeping it, looking to throw, rolling right. He's got a man, but he overthrows Ryder Cuppet, the 5'11 junior.
He had Cuppet out there, and it was interesting. I thought Cuppet could come back for the ball just a little bit more. Maverick maybe had to rush it just a little bit and throws it closer to out of bounds. Good choice, though, by Mercado, just getting it somewhere where only Cuppet could catch it. Unfortunately, Cuppet didn't.
Watching that throw, you get the idea that he may be somebody as Moore comes out of the game, and Hunter Warringa is going to take over as quarterback. Hunter Warringa is now going to call the plays. Jake Moore came out. It's a 3rd and 9, so obviously Warringa, a better passer than Moore. We may have a 2-quarterback system throughout the night. We'll have to see to the right. Twin receivers each side. Warringa is a draw play. He's going to keep it himself, and he gets brought down, very quickly by Luke Bethany, a 5'11", 205-pound junior who's right there to make the play.
Found that to be an odd play because Mercado Wilson was behind him. You have Wilson blocking for Warringa on that one. Just I'm a little bit miffed at that one.
So they're going to bring David Giordano in now to punt it away on 4th and 10, ball at the 45-yard line. Back deep for TCA is Nick DeRay, and a flag has been thrown. We will wait for the indication. A false start. Offense. 4th down. Thank you, sir.
Let's replay 4th down.
So Giordano gets backed up another 5 yards. He's now standing at his own 29-yard line. The ball at the 40-yard line, and back deep is DeRay. The snap is back. Here's the kick, and it just goes straight into one of the Liberty players who picks it up and gets brought down as a little bit of a whiff on the punt.
That was a tough job there by Giordano. You can see what happens here. He does not get enough lift on that ball, and it hits in the backfield. I believe hits one of his blockers in the back. Picked up by Liberty, but they're going to bring that one back and give TCA the ball at the 41-yard line.
So TCA starts with fantastic field position at the 41-yard line. Bervig is the quarterback. It's going to be a quick run on the right side as Nick DeRay, who was back there to return the punt, finally does get his hand on the football. When you've got this wing-back situation, the quarterback's right at the line of scrimmage, and you got two backs to your right and to your left, almost shoulder to shoulder. This is the broadcaster's nightmare at times because everybody is so close to each other. It's going to be a handoff, and keeping the football and running over to the left side is Patrick. Let me make sure I get this right. Yorge.
You got it.
Which is Gheorge.
No gain for Yorge on that one.
So Yorge carries it. Yorge does not get much, and Yorge exits the field on the right side. 3rd and 3. It's going to be a quick pitch to DeRay, right side. He's got a ton of running room out there. He's to the 20 or so. He's going to be brought down just before the 20 at about the 21-yard line. That's going to be a 13-yard gain for Nick DeRay.
Tell you, if Brexton Cuppett isn't on this and making this tackle right here, he would have gone all the way for 6. Good blocking out front by the Titans. A couple of good sealing blocks getting around the corner, and he gets a nice gain.
1st and 10, ball at the 22-yard line. In the backfield is Hall. Hall's going to get it. He's running left side, runs over a defender, and gets inside the 15-yard line before eventually being brought down. As he runs hard, here's one more look at it, and a nice job. It was Cuppett who was able to eventually make that tackle, but Cuppett took the brunt of that hit. Snap comes back. It's going to go to DeRay. DeRay right side avoids one tackle. How he turned this into not much of a loss compared to a major loss just shows his speed.
Good job. Good speed here. You see the Liberty. He just outruns Liberty's player Romero there and gets to the corner, but unfortunately TCA hadn't had it blocked well enough out there, and 3 Lancers were waiting for him out there, and they stop him.
So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 5. Ball's at the 17-yard line. We have yet to see Bervig to throw. He has attempted 108 passes this year, but they're keeping it on the ground. It's going to be another handoff to Hall up the middle. He's got running room. He is inside the 5-yard line, down at the 4, before eventually being brought down, and that is going to bring up a 1st and goal for TCA.
That was just a nice run up the middle. Again, good seal on the block there. Got by Christopherson, ran into the official, or he may have got into the end zone.
1st and goal, 4-yard line. Bervig at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be another pitch. This time they're going to go to the left side, and this is going to be a very easy touchdown for Christian Carlson, his first touchdown of the year, and TCA takes the early lead at 6-0.
You said it. That was pretty darn easy for Christian Carlson. I'm pretty impressed right now by the TCA offensive line, opening holes for these backs, doing a good job, and really nobody there but Carlson just getting right into the end zone.
So the kicker is on now to kick it away for TCA, or to attempt the extra point. And the snap is mishandled. It's going to end up just being a run and brought down at the 15-yard line. We do not have a 12 listed on our roster. You have one on yours. Fine, be that way. Josh Frankmore is number 12. The roster I have does not have a number 12 for TCA.
Brett Bixler, I'll tell you, that's the kind of play for Liberty right there that can get you back into a game pretty quickly, because all the momentum was on TCA as they got the tough punt, got the ball at the 41-yard line, took it down in just a matter of a few plays and score the touchdown. So it's nice that when you can stop them from getting that extra point, kind of says, hey, you know what, we're still fighting, we're still in this thing.
You know, from a kicker perspective, they've used 2 kickers already this season coming in today, both Anders Carlson and Josiah Lilliquist, and then we see a new kicker in Josh Frankmore. So TCA is going through the kickers.
They certainly are. Let's see now if they can keep this kick in bounds as they have a kickoff again.
So TCA will kick it away, and it is once again going to be Josh Frankmore. Frankmore is a 5'8", 145-pound freshman. So I wonder if he played very well for the freshman team, and they said, you know what, come be our kicker. Or maybe he's a soccer guy like we saw for Coronado last week.
Quite possibly.
Either way, he's he was out there to kick, and in his first PAT attempt, he didn't even get to kick it. He had to try to run it. Frank Moore puts his leg into it. He squibs it left side, and this is going to go out of bounds at the 18-yard line. They do not want to go. They'd rather give Liberty the ball at the 35.
Apparently.
And if you're Liberty, well, they are sending the offense out on the field. If you're Liberty, you do have that option to have them re-kick. If they keep doing that, at some point do you force them to try to kick it in bounds?
You might want to think about that. That's probably something that Coach Seitz is thinking about right now. If TCA is afraid of kicking the ball, of course, as a head coach, you'd rather they don't kick off again.
Right.
But we'll see.
So Hunter Warringa is out there evidently to be the quarterback, at least for the moment. I say that if you're just now tuning in. Maverick Mercado got the start as the quarterback. Warringa came in on a 3rd and long, and he's still in there now. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. It's going to be a handoff right the middle, a little bit of running room for Mercado before he's eventually brought down. He's got those choppy legs. When it looks like it's going to be about a 3-yard gain, he's able to turn that thing into, with the second effort, all the way, it's about a 6-yard gain. We'll call it, they're calling it a 7, 2nd and 3, ball at the 42.
Mercado, I'm telling you, I like this by Mark Seitz, getting the ball into Mercado's hands. We said they had to get it into his hands against Coronado. They finally did with the long kickoff return. This now, in your offense, why not make him a bigger part of your offense? It appears that's what they're doing tonight.
Trips left. The lone receiver to the right is Ryder Cuppet. Warringa works out of the shotgun. He's looking to throw. He's got to throw left side. He's got 2 men out there. He eventually gets it into the hands of Josh Burns, and Burns has a first down and more. This is a dangerous play because they could have basically defended each other off.
They certainly could have. Burns did a good job just saying, calling it, I guess, kind of like in baseball. I got it. He comes down with it, and a nice big gain. A good pass there by Warringa.
Was that Brian German with a baseball analogy?
Yep, you got it.
Huh. Jeremy Caldwell was the other guy who was out there along with Burns. Burns makes the play. It's 1st and 10, ball at the 43-yard line. 3 receivers once again to the left, 1 to the other side, and now it's a quick handoff up the middle. And not too much room for Mercado, but he always gets something out of it. That's going to be about a 5-yard gain before eventually being brought down. Ooh, he almost fumbled that.
Yeah, he almost fumbled the ball. He does a good job finding holes. He's a little guy, a little scat back in there, and he can find a hole. And it was TCA's Aaron Hernandez that brings him down.
They're listing that as 2nd and 8 on the scoreboard, but that is more like 2nd and 6.
My apologies, Nick Mace of TCA made the tackle.
3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Warringa works out of the gun. He's looking to throw. He gets a block. Now he's rolling right. He's either going to have to throw this thing away, and he throws it into traffic. He's lucky that didn't get intercepted. There was about 5 white jerseys and 2 red jerseys down there. That's not a good percentage.
Tell you what, though, if he could have got a little more air into that football, Ryder Cuppet had turned around and was actually behind the defense out of the shot there. Ryder Cuppet turned to maybe block as he thought Warringa was going to run, and then became open in the back there. There you see number 11. But Warringa couldn't get it to him.
6-0 TCA, 4 minutes, 52 seconds to go. Quarter number 1, Matt Pauley, Brian German. Our sideline reporter this evening is Kara Hammer, and of course we've got our entire 20 TV crew with us as well. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 6. The ball is at the 41-yard line. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Fake the handoff. Warringa is under pressure. He's rolling to his right. He's got to get out of bounds, and he does so. Getting in there and getting a little bit of contact in on him was Burvig, as he is also a strong safety for this team.
Luke Bethany did a great job there for TCA, just creating havoc, coming around right up the middle. Doesn't get blocked, but just couldn't catch Warringa, and he gets pushed out of bounds for a 2-yard loss.
Liberty is going to look to pin TCA back deep in their own position or side of the ball, side of the field, as David Giordano is going to come and punt it away, and he's going to be looking for a much better punt than his last attempt. Giordano stands at his own 46-yard line. The snap is back. Giordano does get a much better punt this time. It's going to land near the goal line. It takes a Liberty bounce. He just put that thing on the green, and it's about 3 feet from the cup.
Travis Christofferson downs it at just outside the 5-yard line. That's exactly what Giordano wanted to do. That thing just died on the turf.
That was very good. That's our second golf reference in as many weeks. Because I said he put it on the green just a few feet from the cup.
You're good.
You made the Ryder Cuppet
reference
last week. All right, TCA back on offense. They are back at their own 6-yard line and multiple men in motion, and that's not good. That's going to be a penalty, and that's going to put them back half the distance back to the 3-yard line.
Exactly what you don't want to see when you're pinned this deep offensively is to go backwards. Liberty's got to be liking this.
Jody Jones is the offensive coordinator for TCA. They've got a whole bunch of coaches on their roster, although both teams do. Football tends to have a good number of coaches. Bervig puts a man in motion, and now Liberty's going to jump, and that's going to cost them 5 yards the other way. I never thought that was fair when you got the half the distance one side and then a 5-yard penalty the other side. Wish there was a way that could just be that half the distance back in the other direction.
I'm almost going to agree with you on that one.
It's not fair.
It doesn't seem like it.
But life is not fair.
But if you have a penalty, I mean.
Yeah, you put yourself in that position. All right, 1st and 13 ball is first and 9. All right, it's a handoff up the middle. First down, it's going to be 1st and 10 now after the big carry up the middle by Jace Hall, the 5'7" junior who comes in averaging just over 4 yards a carry.
Wow, and he's just, Brexton Cuppett brings him down there. He's been busy on the Liberty side defensively.
6-0, 4 minutes, 20 seconds to go. First quarter, and maybe a timeout for injury. Nope. A TCA player they had to tie their shoe. Not sure who that was. It's going to be a pitch, left side, up the middle, big hole. Let's see how far Yorgay is able to go, and he's brought down at the 45. So that's going to be a 31-yard run or abouts.
31-yard run for Patrick Yorgay.
And that's a first down for TCA. TCA's only win this season came against Littleton, winning 40-13. On this double wing offense, here's a pitch over to DeRay, and DeRay still on his feet. He finds a seam and comes up just short of the first down. That's going to be an 8-yard run on first down.
Another tackle by the busy man out there, Brexton Cuppett. You know, they pitch the ball to a back one way or another, and the back is able to just kind of pick his spots. DeRay does a good job there, getting upfield for 7 yards.
And you look at that play, and he was able to get one of the Liberty players to commit too much right before he cut back in. Now it's a quick handoff up the middle. They've got the first down. They've got more. As once again, it's Jace Hall with the carry.
Good hard running up the middle here, but again, he's not getting hit till he's at least 4 or 5 yards down the field. Brexton Cuppett again with another tackle for Liberty.
Yeah, he's well on his way to leading the team in tackles for this contest tonight. 1st and 10, ball at the 34-yard line. TCA has it. Man goes in motion. It's going to be another handoff to Hall up the middle. This time Hall doesn't have as much running room, but still gains a couple yards before being brought down.
This time Josh Burns is in there to make the tackle. They're going to give Hall a couple of yards on that one. His 5th carry of the night.
2nd and 8, ball at the 32. Huge play for Liberty here on 2nd and long. Don't let TCA get into a 3rd and short situation. Let's see what they come up with. Man goes in motion. It's going to be another handoff. They're not going to have 1st and 3rd and short because they're going to have the first down. That's Nick DeRay coming around the corner on the right side, getting the first down and more.
Nick DeRay does a good job here. And again, they're walling off those Lancers down the side there. Just a great job blocking up front.
That's Kenny Plant with the big block on the right side, 5'11", 200-pound junior. He looks bigger than 5'11", 200 pounds.
He does.
They've got a pretty good offensive line coach at TCA, as it's going to be a handoff to Hall. Hall runs left side. Excuse me, it's actually going to be Yorgay who runs it. Nope, one more time. How about Carlson? There we go. They've got all those backs back there. It's Carlson who did run it, and he's eventually brought down. Good offensive line coach, former Patriot and Jaguar tight end and long snapper. Rich Griffith is their offensive line coach, who also married me. He's a local pastor.
Wow.
Yeah. Timeout on the field. We will take it as well. 6-0 is our score. TCA leads Liberty We're back after this here on 20 TV. Six 0 our score. TCA leading Liberty. TCA coming back to the line of scrimmage out of the timeout. Let's see if the timeout did any good here as Burvig at the line of scrimmage. He hasn't been forced to throw the ball yet. It's going to be a pitch right side. First time today we've called Jason Hoyt's name, and Hoyt is going to let's see. Is he going to get that first down? Let's see where that marker is. I think he's going to be about a yard short.
Brexton Cuppett again coming up there from his linebacker position. Makes a nice tackle, flings Hoyt around, and he only got a yard on the play.
Yeah, so that's going to bring up a 3rd and officially 2. Ball at the 10. Now a whistle. And the officials come in. There may be a I think there's a miscommunication on downs. They were listing 3rd down.
Official just making sure.
Okay. Better safe than sorry. Man goes in motion from right to left. That's Yorgay. Here's the snap. It's going to be a handoff up the middle and into the end zone for a touchdown. That's Jason Hoyt. Just his 12th carry of the season. He comes up with his first touchdown.
12th carry of the season. He's got 2 tonight for 11 yards and a touchdown. At TCA, pretty much anyone they're handing the ball to right now is finding holes out there.
So it brings up, makes it a 12-0 game now. Are they going to kick the extra point, or are they going to go for 2 to make it 14?
Jason Hoyt, 5'6", 160 pounds.
Senior.
Yes.
Reserve wing back on this team, and the offense is on the field. Hall is in the backfield. Burvig. This will be an interesting time to maybe throw the ball for the first time today. Nope, it's going to be another handoff to Ray around the right side. Cuts in, and he has the 2-point conversion to make it 14-0 TCA here in the first quarter.
Why not go for 2? Your kicking game kind of struggling. You need the 2 to get to 14, and you've been running the ball all over Liberty so far tonight.
Yeah, they have not thrown the ball a single time, and they lead by a couple touchdowns here at District 20 Stadium. One more look at the conversion. He gets in there, and it makes it a 14-0 game. A timeout, and we'll be back with more in just a moment here on 20 TV.
One part excellence, one part inspiration, one part preparation for outstanding education. Academy School District 20, where dreams take flight.
14-0 our score. TCA leads Liberty. Matt Hawley, Brian German. Our sideline reporter, Kara Hammer, will be checking in with her coming up in just a moment or so. Our entire 20 TV crew coming your way from District 20 Stadium. Let's see if TCA kicks it to Maverick Mercado. He is back at the 6-yard line. It is going to be Frank Moore to kick it away. It goes off the front line, and it's picked up and brought up to about the 36-yard line. Let's check in with Kara. And Kara, interesting to see TCA's been on the field most of this game. Liberty offensively, they haven't spent much time on the field. The TCA defense has been able to stay off the field.
Well, if you go back through and look at the 3 keys from Coach Burvig, he said the offense needs to move the chains and keep the D off the field. We haven't hardly seen TCA's defense at all tonight. That last play took 3 minutes to go 94 yards down the field for the touchdown.
All right, Kara, appreciate it. We see TCA's defense onto the field now. Their 3rd defensive drive, and they've been pretty consistent in the way that they've played Liberty offensively. Liberty got to get something going. I don't know if the answer is Maverick Mercado. I don't know if it's the answer is Jake Moore, passing it more to the likes of Ryder Cuppett and Jeremy Caldwell, but they got to figure something out. It's going to be a handoff up the middle, and not a lot of running room for one of the wide receivers, Jeremy Caldwell, running with the ball.
Actually, yeah.
No,
Josh
check
Burns.
that. Josh Burns, I beg your pardon. Josh Burns, who had 106 yards in the first 3 games coming into tonight.
Gets 3 there. Now, if you can get another 3 here, 3rd and 4 is okay. 3rd and 4 is manageable.
Yeah.
But you got to get in a better situation here.
They
if
have
you're
not.
Liberty.
Yeah, they've not had manageable 3rd downs today, and that's what they're going to be looking for. There's less than a minute left in the first quarter. Clock is running. Receivers split out each side. Warringah works out of the gun for Liberty. Snap is back. Here's the handoff up the middle. It goes once again to Burns. Burns cuts out to the left side. He's going to get that 3 yards or so. Forward progress is going to put him 3-4 yards short of the first down.
I like the way Josh Burns runs the football. You know, he's here. He didn't have the greatest hole, but he finds it on the outside and then keeps those legs churning, even though 2 and 3 Titans are on his back. And that's a good job because he gives Liberty a 3rd and 3.
3rd and 3. Ball at the 45-yard line as they try to cross midfield. Let's see if they get a playoff before the first half comes to an end. It looks like at the very least they're going to try. Caldwell is the receiver split out to the left. Cuppett is the receiver split out to the right. Warringah works out of the shotgun. Man goes in motion. It's going to be a pitch right side. It's Mercado. Mercado's got the first down. Did he drop the football, though? We'll see. He is able to hold on to it just barely. He gets the first down, and he gets Liberty across midfield.
Mercado gives the Lancers something that maybe some of the other running backs don't have, and that is the ability to hit that hole once he sees it. He did a great job there drawing the defense to the side and then cutting it back up inside to get that first down about 5 yards.
He was really holding that football out there. That's a dangerous place to be, but it doesn't really matter because he gets the first down. They're at midfield, and we are at the end of 1 quarter of play. 14-0 TCA over Liberty. We'll take a break and have more in a moment right here on 20 TV. We get set for quarter number 2. Liberty is at midfield, and they've got a first down. Man goes in motion. That's Cuppett. Now here's a handoff to Mercado. Mercado running straight up the middle. He just turned a 2-yard gain into about a 7 or 8 yard gain. And maybe Mercado's going to get things going. This might be a big turn of events for the Lancers.
He's a slippery little guy. You know, they came out and they started with him at quarterback. Now they're handing him the ball up the middle. Nice big 7-yard gain there for Mercado.
Warringah has the play. 2nd and 3, ball at the 43-yard line. Mercado is still, well, Cole Pelt is actually back there right now. Mercado is as well. And the long snap is fumbled by Warringah, and back into his own territory, he dives onto the football. So you cross midfield and then you come back over.
That is so tough for Liberty right there. Got a good drive going. You're at 2nd and 3. You got a chance to do something. 2nd and 3, a down that you really like to kind of play with. You could do anything you want on 2nd and 3. Maybe they were trying to, but the snap went awry, and now you're at 3rd and 11.
3rd and 11, ball at the 49-yard line. Let's see if they can come up with a big play. Warringah has Mercado in the backfield. It's going to be a throw right side. He's got his man Cuppett open, but Cuppett gains a few yards and comes up well short. TCA is perfectly fine giving up that pass.
Yeah, they were right there. Nice job by Cuppett to bring that ball in, but some good defense right away there by Austin Burvig, actually the quarterback for TCA. Maybe he read Warringah, knew exactly where he was going with it, and Cuppett tried to get away, only gets up with about 4 yards on the play.
Pelt and Mercado will stay in the backfield as it looks like they're going to go for it on 4th and 6, and either they're going to try to draw Liberty off sides, or Mark Seitz is saying this is the game in the 2nd quarter. This is a
big play.
Yeah. This is a gamble. Let's see what happens. Warringah takes the snap. He is looking to throw. Look like they're trying to set up a screen maybe. He's under pressure. He's got some running room left side. He avoids one tackle. Can't avoid the second, as stepping up and making a huge play for TCA is Aiden Hollis, a 6'2 junior, and it's going to be a turnover on downs, and TCA is going to get the football back in great field possession.
I'm not sure what play they had set up there because there was such good penetration by the Titan defense there that Warringah just had to take it and run.
That's why I had to assume it was a screenplay, watching the way the defensive line was able to come in so easily. So TCA will start with the ball at the 44-yard line. Great field position, and they could really make a statement if they get a touchdown on this drive. It's a handoff to Hall, and Hall doesn't have much room. He gets pushed back for a loss, and that's a good first defensive play on first down for Liberty.
Josh Burns, Travis Christopherson in there making a good stop. Just grabbing Hall, and Burns just going after his legs and getting him, make sure he went down, helping him up too. Good sportsmanship.
2nd and 11, ball at the 43-yard line. It's 14-0 TCA. They've got the ball. Receiver out to the right side. Now it's going to be Burvig to throw. Burvig's going to throw. He's going to throw left side. He's got a man open, and he could not come down with it. That was Nick DeRay looking for his 9th reception of the season. It almost looked like he didn't know it was coming.
Maybe lost it in the lights as well, as Burvig put a lot of air under this one. If he'd have let that fly a little bit further up the field, DeRay might have had a better shot at it. He had to come back to the football and just couldn't get his hands on it.
Big play defensively for Liberty. 3rd and 11. Sawyer Weeks is the receiver, split out to the left side. Liberty is showing blitz. Man goes in motion. That's Carlson. And Burvig's looking to throw again. He throws left side, and it's just out of the reach of DeRay, but there's a penalty flag that will come in, and that is going to give TCA the first down on the penalty.
Nick Oskvarek was right there, stuck his arm across and stopped the ball, but the officials are saying he made contact with the receiver as well.
Pass interference defense.
Pass interference. I thought Oskvarek made a great play on this.
Let's watch the replay and see how much there actually is. Yeah, he's right there with him. Maybe we need a better angle.
If he makes contact with his body there, I know his arm got through and knocked the ball away. Close call. It's a tough one, and a really tough play for Liberty, who had TCA stopped with that play.
I felt like a lot of that contact was after the ball had already been thrown and was out of the reach. Although we didn't see the angle from that far side, so we don't know what his left hand was doing, if it was really holding on. So either way, it's going to be a first down, ball at the 42, and TCA with the ball set up on the right hash has Austin Burvig, the junior quarterback, at the line of scrimmage. Man goes in motion. It's going to be a handoff right up the middle. That's Hall, and Hall runs to the right side, and he's going to gain 4 yards before being brought down.
Decent job by Liberty there. Again, it's Josh Burns getting in there, making the nice tackle, stopping Hall after just a few yards.
2nd and 6. Ball at the 39. 2 receivers to the left. Man goes in motion again. It's going to be a pitch out to Yorgay. Yorgay takes a block, takes a good block. He's got the first down and eventually brought down. That was Jace Hall, who's been getting much of the work. Watch his block right in front to spring him open.
Boy, you know, if you're Patrick Yorgay, you're out there running with 3 guys in front of you. You take him, and I'll just get as many yards as I can. A good 7-yard gain for Patrick Yorgay.
You know, that penalty flag could end up being a huge difference maker in this game. 1st and 10. It's going to be a handoff and running off to the right and finally being brought down at the 24-yard line, Nick DeRay.
Travis Christopherson with the tackle for Liberty. Those quick handoffs, and Christopherson threw DeRay down to the ground after a gain of about 7 on the play. Vicious tackle by Christopherson.
Christopherson, one of the team captains, comes in 9 total tackles this year, 3 solo, 5 of which have gone for loss. Here's a handoff, nowhere to run for Jace Hall. That's going to bring up a 3rd down. Although in all likelihood, this is 4-down territory for TCA.
Great job defensively by Tanner Woodard. Shot the gap, found Hall in the backfield, and got him for a 2-yard loss.
3rd and 5, ball at the 25-yard line. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Burvig works out of the gun. That is Hall back there with him. Snap is back. fake the handoff. Bervig's going to run on himself. He gets a good block. He's still trying to get around that left side and gets brought down at about the line of scrimmage, and that's going to bring up a 4th down now for TCA.
Very good tackle over here, although a nice block in front. But a great job there by Jeremy Caldwell coming up from his cornerback spot and making that tackle on Bervig. And it is 4th down for TCA.
We'll see if the Liberty defense can get off the field. Bervig at the line of scrimmage. 4th down. Bervig's looking to throw. He throws up the middle, and it's just out of the reach of Hall. And that is a turnover on downs as Liberty is able to hold.
That should get the Lancers pumped up, and it's great because, without that pass interference penalty, they had stopped TCA. Now, sure, they're a little bit further back in the field, but if TCA had to punt, they may have been in worse shape than they are right now.
Yeah, that pretty much neutralizes that penalty flag.
Bervig, some good pressure up front by Liberty, and just off the hands of Hall as Bervig's second attempt to throw the ball falls to the ground as well.
Hunter Warringah is back out to lead the Liberty offense. They've yet to score. They trail by a couple touchdowns. We've got 6.5 minutes left in the first half. Twin receivers to each side. Fake handoff. Warringah's looking to throw. He looks to throw right side. It goes in and out of the hands of Jeff DeMay, the 6-foot senior who's got 5 receptions for 91 yards. That's one I got to think he's going to want back. Let's look at the replay.
Warringah does a great job there getting it right across to a wide open DeMay. DeMay just couldn't bring the ball in.
So Warringah gets the call from the sideline, and he will jog his way back into the huddle. Just under 6.5 minutes left in the half. 14-0. All TCA. A late touchdown here in this first half by Liberty would make this a game going into the second half.
And just keep a sustained drive. As Kara talked about earlier, if they can sustain a drive here and maybe do something against this TCA defense.
Warringah's going to keep it himself, veering out to the right side. He gets to about the 30, so it's going to be close to a 5-yard run for Warringah. He may have gotten popped pretty good when he stood up. He, I don't know if limp's the right word, but he looks like he may have been in a little bit of pain.
Might take a hit to the knee a little bit there. Good job coming up there for the Titans. Austin Bervig, we're calling his name on offense and defense.
14-0. Bervig defensively plays that strong safety position. He'll be out there as a corner as well. Can do a whole lot. 2 receivers to each side. This is Warringah out of the gun. It's going to be a sweep play left side. Mercado, they're closing in on Mercado very quickly, and he's brought down after a gain of a couple yards. He'll be helped up by the man who eventually brought him down in linebacker Kyle Peterson.
Just really nowhere for Mercado to go there. He ends up getting just a yard on the play, and Liberty's going to have to punt.
That was a quick 3 downs for the Lancers. David Giordano back at about the 20 to punt. Here is the kick. DeMay is back there to return. He's got a little bit of room. He's going to try to get around the left side. He takes a block or two, and he's eventually brought down at the 37-yard line. Not a bad return for Nick DeRay, but he certainly suffered a little bit of punishment there.
Nice block on the outside there for TCA, knocking Travis Christopherson of the Lancers out of the way. Christopherson, a big guy downfield trying to make a play, gets blocked right there by Jace Hall, or actually Yorgay, with a nice block, but fortunately, more Lancers were there to make the tackle.
5 minutes, 22 seconds to go. First half, it's 14-0. TCA would love to make it a 3-touchdown game leading into quarter number 3. One receiver is split out to the left side. Bervig's at the line of scrimmage. He takes the snap. It's going to be a handoff once again to DeRay. Works right side, gains a few yards before being brought down. It seems like every time DeRay is back there to receive a kick or a punt, then he gets that first offensive play of the drive.
DeRay, the workhorse pretty much so far, although they've had plenty of people carry the ball.
It's been DeRay and Hall a lot of, and a little bit of Carlson and Yorgay. Bervig at the line. It's a handoff up the middle. Not much room.
Nice job.
Not much room at all for Jace Hall, and he goes down in a heap.
Aaron Fernandez comes in there fights off blockers and grabs Hall and throws him down. Lancers making some dramatic tackles tonight. Grabbed him by a jersey and just threw him down. That's some strength in your hands right there.
Fernandez this year has a couple sacks, and that's a tackle for loss. He's done a nice job on the defensive line. 6 foot, 230 pounds. Good athletic play to get there, shed the tackle, make the play. Receivers split out to each side on 3rd and 7. Bervig takes the snap. It's going to be a draw play. What a perfectly designed play. He runs up the middle. He's got all kinds of running room, brought down at the 38-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 21 yards.
Nice run by Bervig. And like you said, just a great call there by TCA. Kind of caught the Lancers off guard. They were looking for maybe pass. He went right up the middle on the quarterback draw.
And got all those defensive linemen to commit too much. The offensive linemen moved them out to the right and left side respectively, and then that just opened it up like the Red Sea right up the middle. Here's a handoff up the middle once again. It's DeRay, and DeRay gains 5 yards on first down. It'll bring up a second down for the 5'8", 155-pound senior.
I like the move here by Ben Correa, though, trying to tackle not only the player but the ball, trying to cause a turnover for the Lancers. That might be what it takes to get the Lancers to get hyped up a little bit about this game.
14-0 is our score. 3 minutes, 40 seconds to go. First half. TCA leads by 2 touchdowns. They've got the ball, and they're threatening once again. Bervig at the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be a false start on the left side.
That's the thing as a coach that you just hate to see. You're moving the football. You're doing really well. You just came off a long 3rd down play, and you converted. 2nd and 5. You're back on schedule, and then you get a penalty. It's going to back you up, and it's going to be 2nd and 10 instead.
Penalties have certainly played a bit of a role in this game, too. There hasn't been a lot of them, but they've been impactful.
I like that word, impactful.
Thank you.
Big word.
2nd and 10. Ball's at the 39-yard line. Man goes in motion. This is a sweep play on the left side. A good amount of running room close to the first down before Alex Miller is eventually brought down. That's just his 3rd carry this season. And he's got all kinds of blockers out there.
Just a convoy of blockers out there. We got us a convoy.
Bethany and Hall, a lineman and a running back, are out there. You know, these running backs for TCA, when they're not carrying it, they're out there blocking.
There's the Lancer.
He's looking good. He or she is looking good. We don't know.
He's got a skirt on.
3rd and 3, ball at the 32-yard line.
A
little run up the middle. I think that's Carlson. Nope, check that. It's Hall. And Hall's going to come up just short of the first down.
Josh Burns sprints through there, gets by the offensive lineman trying to block him, and does a great job. Josh Burns turning it up on defense for the Lancers.
14-0 TCA. Clock is running at 2:19. It brings up a 4th and 2 at the 31, and as you would expect, TCA will go for it. Another chance for Liberty to get off the field defensively if they can come up with a big play. Bervig's at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a handoff up the middle, and carrying it was Hall, and I think he's got that first down.
Might be depending on where they spot this ball.
Maybe not. Nope, I was incorrect. They do not give it, and that's a huge, huge play for Liberty defensively.
Another big stop for the Lancers. 2 straight 4th down stops to stop drives. They get Hall there, and a good tackle inside for the Lancers. That one came from Matt Klein, who did just a great job.
$14-0 our score. Ball's 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. If you're Liberty here, it's probably more important not to give the ball back to TCA again in the first half than it is to try to score.
I would agree, but I think you need to get something to get this team kind of fired up.
Warringah is looking to throw. He's under pressure. He gets a block. He's around the left side. He's got running room if he wants it, but this is going to be brought back. There's a flag back there. It's going to be a hold, and they're going to see a 1st and 20 coming up here in a moment.
The longer the quarterback holds the ball without doing anything, the longer the chances are they're going to throw a flag for a hold, and that's exactly what they did.
Could have been a block in the back as well on that play as the play really broke down.
Too bad it broke down, too, because he was starting. Ryder Cuppett was breaking open down the right sideline there. If Warringah would have had another second, he might have been able to see him.
Minute 51 to go. 14-0 is our score. And that's going to bring up 1st and the play was behind the line of scrimmage, so it's a spot foul 10 yards back. So this is going to be 1st and 25. So the foul occurred 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
It's a tough one.
That'd be a country mile.
And like you said, you might want to run the ball a few times here and get that clock getting into halftime.
They are going to give it to Mercado, who can break one open at any moment. He gets about 7 or 8 of those yards back, maybe even 10. That's a good first down distance, but it still brings up 2nd and long.
Nice catch of the snap there, though, by Warenga, and he gets it to Mercado.
It's going to be Mercado again. This time he runs right side, and that's going to get – he's going to come up with about 3-4 yard carry, get 2 yards short of the original line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up a 3rd down, and a timeout has been called. TCA calls a timeout, trying to preserve as much time as they can with a 3rd and long coming up. A 14-0 game. TCA leads. We'll take the break and get the final 75 seconds rolling your way in just a moment here on 20 TV.
Good man.
One part excellence, one part inspiration, one part preparation for outstanding education. Academy School District 20, where dreams take flight.
14-0 is our score. TCA leads Liberty. We are at District 20 Stadium, which is essentially on the campus of Liberty High School, although it is a district venue, not a Liberty venue. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Warenga, he is looking to throw, and he's going to be brought down back at the 20-yard line. That's going to be a loss of 8 yards. And with TCA trying to get the football back, that's almost an offensive play on defense.
Luke Bethany comes through, splits a pair of blockers, and makes the sack. And you can see they're calling for timeout there on TCA's sideline, and they get it. So that stops the clock at 1:07. They're going to get the ball back, and unless Giordano can really boot this one, they should have some decent field position.
Do you set up for the return, or do you look for the block here? I think I look for the block.
With 1:07, you'd probably be best to go for the block. And with Giordano, you know, he kicked it low the first time, but the last 2 times he did a great job kicking it out of there.
And you've got an athletic guy and DeRay back there, so even if he gets the punt off, DeRay without blockers can still make something happen. We'll see if they go for it or not. It's a minute.
One thing that you probably are not looking at for TCA is a field goal.
No.
They're probably going to try and get it to the end zone before the end of this half.
And that's part of why I think going for the block would be key, because you get that much closer. So Giordano is back there to punt away. They're setting up for the return. So it's a nice line punt. Drive punt. It's picked up at the 30 by DeRay. He's got 1 blocker on the right side. He's across midfield. He cuts back to the left side. He's got all kinds of room. He's only got 1 man to beat. Cuts it back inside. How did he see that seam? And he brings it all the way back in. That is a 70, close to a 70-yard touchdown return for Nick DeRay to make it 20-0.
Make it 71 as he picked it up there at the 29-yard line. Great job of blocking by TCA, and then just a heads-up move here. He saw Giordano had a bead on him there, and he cut back and beat the punter to the end zone. Brexton Cuppett trying to run him down, just wasn't quick enough to get him there. But here you see some of the great blocks in front of him by TCA, Nick DeRay.
How did he see this final scene?
That's why they set up for the return, I think.
Yeah, I think that was probably the right call. That's why I'm up here and they're down there.
True. One of the reasons.
47 seconds left in this first half. It's 20-0. We'll see if they attempt the extra point here and who is going to attempt. Now they're just going to go for 2. They may have just said, you know what, we're not going to kick anymore. It's going to be a sweep play left side into the end zone for a 2-point conversion. That is Jorge, and it makes it 22-0 in favor of the Titans of the Classical Academy.
Wow, and we had a decent football game, and here at 14-0, that sack by TCA really set Liberty back, and then the long punt return, and right now it's all Titans.
22-0 is our score. We'll see how Liberty responds to this. At this point, you just want to get into halftime. I wouldn't be shocked to see Liberty take a knee once they get this football, but
unless somehow, miraculously, the ball can end up in the hands of Mercado.
I guarantee you, Brian German, I guarantee you, TCA is not going to kick this thing anywhere near number 5. What you do is you maybe you bring number 5 up, Mercado, and try to hide him out there.
You could hide him. He's smaller in stature than some of his players, but
put him behind
somebody
else.
They don't have him in the very back right now. And TCA has been kind of kicking to the opposite side of the field where he is. I wouldn't be surprised if Liberty fields the ball and then looks to pitch it to Mercado.
He's stepping up. He's at about the 25. Josh Frankmore.
Maverick Mercado. Love the name.
Officially a hyphenated last name, Maverick Mercado Wilson, but he is referred to as Mercado.
Thanks for the officiality.
You know what? That's what we try to do here. Frank Moore is going to kick it away. And it's a squib kick right to the other side. It's up in the air, and it's eventually brought down by Liberty's Jake Moore. Moore has nowhere to go with it. And with 41 seconds to go, Liberty's got to come back on the field offensively. Let's see if they try to run a play here or if they just take a knee.
Dangerous kick there. Good job by Moore. I like the fight in Moore. Just trying to stay alive there on the sideline. Took 4 Titans to bring him down. Nice moves. Just too many Titans in the way.
22-0. TCA leads on their home field, on Liberty's home field. I beg your pardon. 2 receivers to the right,
really
2 to the left.
Both their home field, they're District 20, right?
That is true. I don't know. TCA is their own field, though. Warringah is looking to throw. Now he's just going to run. He runs up the middle, and he's close to the first down. He's got the first down. He's got running room on the right side. He's still on his feet, and he's eventually brought down at the 35-yard line. That's a 30-yard run for Hunter Warringah.
That's exactly what Liberty needed. Warringah did a good job there, and he gets some nice blocks downfield. Good stiff arm. Gets a guy out of the way, and heads up by Hunter Warringah getting out of bounds because there's only 29 seconds left in this half. Liberty's doing something. He did a great job going all the way to the sidelines and getting out of bounds.
Maybe they can get into I wouldn't be against kicking a field goal if you're Liberty at the end of the half just to get some points on the board.
That would give you a definite boost going into the locker room.
2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Warringah in the gun. That's Mercado behind him. He is looking to throw. He throws left side. He's got a man who tried to get open, and then defensively, TCA does a nice job. That was Jeremy Caldwell out there. Caldwell was open for a moment, but TCA closed in very quickly.
Caldwell was down there, and he actually gets his hand on the ball. You know what I say. Tuck it, you can catch it. Caldwell, though, had to get 2 hands on this ball to bring it in. And a good job defensively there by Sawyer Weeks of the Titans.
Timeout? Nope. Check that. No timeout.
That only took 5 seconds.
Yep, 24 seconds to go. 22-0. TCA. Liberty trying to get some points on the board before getting to the end of half, and that would make Mark Seitz a happy camper, or a much more happy camper.
Happier
yes.
camper, yes.
2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Looks like they're running the option. They are. Here's the pitch to Mercado.
Get outside.
Mercado avoids a couple tackles. He's still on his feet and eventually in the grasp and brought down at the 38, a 5-yard. Man, that's as exciting of a 5-yard gain as you're ever going to see.
Well, Maverick Mercado does that. He's an exciting football player. Breaks 2 tackles, stays ahead, pushes a couple of guys in front of him to get some blocks. 5-yard gain.
Liberty takes the timeout here on 3rd down, and with 2 downs left and 14 seconds, they can be sure not to give the ball back to TCA, even if they go for it here on 3rd down. And when I say go for it, what I'm really saying is go for the end zone.
You got to get something. I mean, if you've got a kicker with the leg, you can get a good 15 yards here, maybe give yourself a shot.
Hunter Warringah averages 44 yards a kick on his kickoffs. Now how that plays out to the field goal situation is a bit of a different story, but that's not a bad leg. But you need to get
some yards here.
15, 20 yards closer than where you're at right now, even to keep that kind of distance.
TCA is pretty backed up. They've got their 4 linemen up there, but their linebackers are 5 yards behind them.
Maybe you try to throw to about the 20. Looks like they are running a screenplay. They get it off to the right side, and Ryder Cuppet. Cuppet's got the first down to about the 30. And with 7 seconds left, the clock is stopped, and now Liberty's going to use their final timeout, and they're going to throw once to the end zone, you would assume, before this first half comes to an end.
I like that play there. Didn't develop quite as well as Liberty would have liked to. A nice little wide receiver screen. Cuppet, the kind of guy that can break something out there. Just didn't have enough good blocks in front of him to get much, but he did get one important thing, and that is the first down. 7 seconds left, though. You've got quite a ways to go from the 30-yard line. We saw Warrenga hit Cuppet from about this area of the field against Coronado last week, so it's not out of the realm of possibility.
You look at Cuppet, he's got 12 receptions this year for 85 yards. Caldwell, 4 receptions, 59 yards. Jeff DeMay, 5 receptions, 91 yards. Brett Bixler, 4 receptions, 59 yards. That's all coming into tonight's action.
Mark Seitz in there in the Lancer, giving Warrenga one more word of advice there before he sets out. And they're going to have Caldwell out left, Cuppet right.
Receivers split out to each side, and Warrenga continues to work out of the shotgun. Although Moore's back there as well. It is going to be Warrenga who takes the snap, and he's immediately under trouble. He gets away from a couple runners, and he's got room. He's going to try to get out of bounds before the clock is out. Let's see. The clock has zeros on it right now. The officials could say put time back on the clock if they want, and it does not look like the officials are going to do that.
That's a tough job there by Warrenga. Once he got away and was out of harm's way right here, he should have just stopped, set up, thrown something to the end zone, because there's no way, even if he got out of bounds with 2 seconds left, they really couldn't set anything up. And it's just too bad. Good pressure up front by TCA. Once again, it was Luke Bethany getting in there and forcing Warrenga out, but he got out of bounds just as the clock expired. And that's the way it ends.
Kara Hammer is awaiting Mark Seitz, the head coach of Liberty. He is going to join us coming up in just a moment. But the coaches right now are having a bit of a meeting on the field.
A little bit of a powwow. When you're down 22-0, you want to make sure that everybody is on the same page going into the locker room. So as the coaches meet, they want to make sure that they got that.
Well, you know what? We'll go ahead and take a break. 22-0, the halftime score. Back in a moment on 20 TV.
Having a little bit of a meeting with your coaches before you head into the locker room. What kind of adjustments are you going to make in the second half?
Well, we need to make adjustments in all 3 phases of the game because we're getting beat in all 3 phases of the game right now. So we got to find a way to move the football, sustain a drive, get some first downs. Got to be able to stop their run, and punt return really hurt us as well. So we need to get after it in all 3 phases of the game.
Okay, thank you. Good luck.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Matt, we'll send it back up to you.
All right, Kara, appreciate it. 22-0 is our halftime score, and you can't say it much more succinctly than that from Mark Seitz, Brian. We're getting beat in all 3 phases of the game. And I do want to say, there's been some times in this contest where the Liberty defense has been better than the TCA offense, but that being said, it's still a 22-0 game.
Certainly is, and it's just too bad that some of the unfortunate things that have happened. They've had a penalty when they could have stopped TCA further up the field, maybe gotten better field position, and they just had too many things go wrong. But that's when, like Coach Seitz said, you got to get in the locker room. You got to get them starting to make one step at a time. That's how you learn how to walk. That's how you learn how to get back in a football game.
By the way, it sounds like our replay showed that maybe they should have had about a second left before Warrenga went out of bounds, but there's no instant replay in high school football when you're talking about a second. you certainly can't put down the officials for not catching that. That's a tough play to catch with just 1 second left. All right, halftime score 22-0. We've still got highlights and numbers from the first half to get to as our halftime show continues after this on 20 TV.
One part excellence, one part inspiration, one part preparation for outstanding education. Academy School District 20, where dreams take flight.
Back at District 20 Stadium, it's 22-0. TCA leads Liberty. Matt Pauley, Brian German. Our sideline reporter this evening is Kara Hammer. Our 20 TV crews here. Brian, we have a cast of many putting this bad boy together tonight.
We certainly do. A great job. These D20 guys always helping us out, getting some great highlights. I understand we have some great highlights.
We do have some highlights. Let's go to them in the first half. And here we see a initial touchdown run.
Christian Carlson getting the first one done, and then it went to Jason Hoyt.
A lot of names to remember for TCA, and this was the big touchdown. This was a return by Nick DeRay, and I still continue to be so impressed by this final cut in. You think he's going to run out to the left side, and boom, he comes right through a couple would-be tacklers and able to get into the end zone for a touchdown.
Nick DeRay has really done it. He had that 71-yard punt return for a touchdown. He's also carried the ball 8 times. He has 53 yards rushing in this game. Jace Hall has 10 carries, 47 yards. Patrick Yorgay, 3 carries, 40 yards. We also have Burvig himself, the quarterback, Austin Burvig, with 2 carries, 22 yards. You've got Christian Carlson, 2 carries, 13 yards, that touchdown. Jason Hart, 2 carries, 11 yards, and a touchdown. And Alex Miller with a carry for 7 yards. Austin Burvig has not completed a pass in his 2 attempts. Now, as far as Liberty stats are concerned, it is Maverick Mercado leading the way. He has 8 carries for 40 yards rushing. Hunter Warenga has 7 carries for 21 yards rushing. Burns has 2 carries for 8 yards, and Moore 2 carries for 7 yards. Mercado tried to complete a pass, was unsuccessful. Warenga is 3 of 5 for 20 yards, and his leading receiver is Ryder Cuppett, who has 2 catches for 12 yards. Josh Burns also has 1 catch for 17 yards.
22-0, our halftime score. We do want to let you know that if you'd like to order a DVD or a Blu-ray copy of this broadcast this evening, you can email us 20tv@asd20.org, or you can give us a call at 719-234-1780. Also, many ways to connect with us on social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on YouTube, and also have the website where we've got the full schedule of upcoming broadcasts coming. And speaking of upcoming broadcasts, this is what we've got coming your way. We've got another football game tomorrow night right here at District 20 Stadium, DCC and Pueblo East, and you can see the rest of the games all coming up very soon here on 20 TV. 22-0 is our halftime score. We'll have the second half kickoff next right here on 20 TV. $22-0 is our score as we are coming out of halftime. Matt Pauley, Brian German with you. Kara Hammer's down on the sideline. We're going to get some information from her coming up in just a while. And by the way, you look at our social media page right there.
Yep.
That YouTube channel.
Yep.
It's already got first half highlights on there.
You've got to be kidding me.
I would not kid anybody. I speak the truth, Brian.
Titan fans should be all over that one. I believe Judy in Detroit is a Titan fan.
Is she?
And if she goes, she can watch the highlights.
And if you need any help with that,
tonight.
You got to follow us on Twitter at D20TV. It'll link all those highlights, and you can find out everything else that we've got going on in the world of 20 TV. All right, Liberty's going to kick away. This is going to be an important defensive possession as the kick is returnable up the middle. This is DeRay. He's got a seam. Right side, midfield. One man to beat, and he gets brought down by Warringah at the 35-yard line.
Nice job by Warringah this time. He wasn't fooled as DeRay goes a long way in this one. Some great blocking again, but this one pretty much on the legs of Nick DeRay, and Warringah with a nice tackle there.
That is DeRay's first kickoff return this year. He's been only a punt returner.
Well, he's got a punt return for touchdown. Want to try it, right?
The kick returns this year for TCA up until that kick have been handled by Jace Hall, Jason Hoyt, and Sawyer Weeks.
A 60-yard return for DeRay.
Burvig is out of the shotgun, puts a man in motion. He's going to keep it himself, running to the left side. He splits a couple would-be tacklers, keeps chopping those legs, and he's going to be darn near that first down marker.
Burvig, just a good job here. You know, the first half they were giving the ball to the guy. This time he fakes it, takes it the other way, caught Liberty a little bit off guard, and he comes up with 9 yards on that one.
So 2nd and 1, one of the scariest downs and distances for a defense out there. Burvig, he is looking to throw. Pump fake, throws left side, and he just throws it beyond the reach of Sawyer Weeks, the 5'10 sophomore who has 3 receptions this year.
Weeks did a good job. You can't see it on the camera right here, but he did a good job setting up for that pump fake. Then he went deep, but a good job of the Lancers not biting on that. Brexton Cuppett moving over from the safety position, and the Lancers there to make sure that that pass falls incomplete.
Liberty has had some big defensive stops on 3rd and 4th down. Let's see if they can come up with one right here. It's going to be a pitch right side and nowhere to go for Alex Miller, the 5'11 junior.
Brett Bixler, good job for Liberty there, getting through and sending Miller down for a 1-yard loss, and it's going to be 4th and 2 now for TCA. And you think they're going to kick it?
I don't think so.
No, me neither.
They go from 2nd and 1 to 4th and 2. Good job by the Liberty defense. They've got to make one more play here and get off the field. Burvig at the line. He's looking to throw. He's going to throw down the middle, and he overthrows his intended receiver, Ben Griffith, who's a junior. And I believe Ben is the son of Rich.
Correct me if I'm wrong. That is the 3rd straight 4th down stop for the Lancers.
Yes.
To end a drive by TCA.
Yeah. And all 3 times deep in their own territory.
That's getting me fired up. I think Coach Seitz trying to get his sidelines fired up, get his team fired up, get them back into this ball game. That's the way. That's something to get excited about. And it looks like Mercado going to be taking the snap again.
Yeah, he does, and it's going to be a handoff. No, Mercado's going to keep it himself. Mercado up the middle, and he loses the football. He loses the football. Ooh. It's going to be picked up. I believe one of the Liberty players was able to get out there and get that thing. I think Nick Oskavaric is able to hold on to it. Let's watch the replay.
Mercado held it a little bit loosely. It was stripped. Oskavaric doing something they don't teach you, trying to pick it up with his hands rather than just pounce on that football. But he did a good job. Grabbed it tough to the chest and then went down, and a 7-yard gain turned into a 4-yard gain after the fumble.
That's probably the only issue I would take with Mercado. The way he carries that football, it's ripe to be taken away. Here is the reverse. They are looking to throw. They've got a man wide open. It's Cuppett. He takes the pass at the 45. He's got room, and he's going to cut it out to the right side before finally being brought down at the 25-yard line.
Double reverse pass. Mercado pitches to Moore, back to Warringah, and he comes back and throws it down the field to Ryder Cuppett. Boy, if he could have put a little more air under that, it would have been 6. As it is, it's a 44-yard gain. The best play of the night for the Liberty Lancers. Watch it again from behind here. Warringah has Cuppett wide open. Cuppett had to stop and wait for that ball. But, hey, 44 yards, we'll take it.
Huge play for Liberty as they are at the 25-yard line. Ball's on the ground. Mercado's going to fall on it.
Just when the Lancers get things going tonight, some bad mojo gets going. Glad Mercado fell on that one, but it's going to be 2nd and about 12.
Got to value that possession. Got to value that football. 2nd and 12, ball at the 27. Mercado is in the backfield. Warringah is split out to the left side. Moore's in the backfield with him. It is going to be Mercado keeping it, running to the right side to about the 20. Gain of 7. and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Really liking the lead option play here. Faking to Moore. 2 TCA Titans grab onto Moore, and they just watch as Maverick Mercado goes up a nice hole up the middle and gets a nice little gain there, about 7 yards.
3rd and 5, manageable considering it was 2nd and long. And Mercado is going to continue to work out of the shotgun. Waringa's out there on the left side. He's dangerous with his throwing ability. If they have a trick play, again, Mercado keeps it, runs up the middle. He's not going to get much room, not going to have much room, and he's not going to get many yards on this play as it's going to bring up a 4th down, and I would assume that Liberty's going to go for it here.
It may have been a case of, hey, we've got 2 plays to gain 5 yards. You got 1 on the first. Let's see what Mark Seitz comes up with here on 4th and 4.
Jeremy Caldwell checks in while Jake Moore comes out, so you add a receiver, you get rid of a back. And Waringa's going to call this play. So on 4th and 4, ball at the 19, and in all likelihood it's going to be a running play. I wouldn't mind seeing that draw again, that they got the big yards with Waringa earlier. TCA might be thinking the same thing and try to stay at home. Waringa, he's going to pitch it left side. Mercado has it. He cuts up the middle, and he gets hit. He gets hit hard, and that's going to be a turnover on downs, and we're going to go back the other direction. That's a nice tackle by the Titans.
Kind of would have rather seen Mercado cut to the outside on that one, but TCA pretty much had people everywhere.
Kyle Peterson again. He's had some big hits today. He's a big linebacker.
Good job by Peterson there. Stopping Mercado and stopping the Lancers on 4th down.
So we're 7 minutes and 41 seconds left here in quarter number 3. It's 22-0 in favor of TCA. You know, Liberty won the second half against Coronado last week. That doesn't mean anything, but we'll see if they can do it again and maybe get back into this game. They need to stop here against TCA. 2 receivers to the left. Bervig, the sweep, and there's going to be a flag.
They might get a holding call out there on Reese Plantenberg for the Titans as Jeremy Caldwell shook that one off and made the tackle regardless.
7 minutes, 34 seconds to go. 3rd quarter. Matt Pauley, Brian German, our sideline reporter is Kara Hammer.
You can see a good job of the hold right here. Caldwell does a great job. Wow, fights off the hold and makes the tackle. And that's going to set TCA back. Lancer defense has kind of settled down a little bit.
I've been impressed by Liberty's defense this evening. We don't know what's going to happen at the end of this game, and I know Mark Seitz probably isn't a moral victory type guy, but no matter what, they're going to be able to look at some things and find some real positive things on the defense.
Josh Burns.
DeRay is back there right at the goal line. They push him back. He's going to get forward progress to about the 2-yard line, but it looks good all the way back there.
Josh Burns shot the gap and was in there almost faster than the football, got back to the quarterback, and he makes a huge tackle for loss right there, bringing Nick DeRay down. It's not often they've got a handle on Nick DeRay, but they did there. And how about Josh Burns? He helps everybody up, too. What a great sportsman.
7 minutes, 6 seconds to go, quarter number 3, and it brings up a 2nd and 28, ball at the 2-yard line. And now a penalty flag, and defensively we may have seen a Lancer and Tanner Woodard go across the line. And, yep, that's going to give TCA some breathing room. That's disappointing for Liberty because you had TCA pushed back near the goal line.
I'm not sure if Woodard was maybe anticipating a snap count there and just went across a little earlier. He was coming across following the man in motion and just stepped across into the boundary.
So 22-0 the score. Bervig's looking to throw. He's under pressure. He steps up. He's going to have a positive gain before eventually being brought down, still short of the original line of scrimmage.
Ben Correa did a good job there, and the Lancers seem to have good hands. They like to grab people and pull them down by their jersey. And Bervig does a good job getting through there. And there's Correa, as I said, pulling him down with his one hand on the jersey. A good job, only a 7-yard gain for Bervig.
2 receivers to each side. Bervig working out of the shotgun. I thought TCA was doing better when they were running the ball more. Bervig is looking to throw, a little jump throw, and it is in and out of the hands of his intended receiver over there on the right sideline before eventually being a
little jump pass there, and Ben Griffith was the man, and Sam Farrell on the coverage for the Lancers, just out of the outstretched arms of Griffith. Falls, and TCA He's going to punt the football.
Huh. Who knew? Reese Plattenberg is back to punt, one of 2 punters for this team, and they were close to blocking it. This is one heck of a punt. Wow. And Mercado gets it, drops it, picks it back up. He's got running room on the sideline. There's a flag. It's coming back, so it doesn't matter what happens here. Eventually being brought down at the 35-yard line.
I love Maverick Mercado Wilson. What a great job he did. Watch the presence of mind here. Sure, most people would panic right there. Nope, just stop, gather yourself, pick it up, and then head upfield. Unfortunately, they're going to get a block in the back on the Lancers and bring that one back up.
Kenny Plant, 5'11 junior, who we talked about earlier, he gets injured on the play, and he's a good one. He is a good lineman for TCA, and he is on the ground right now. The trainers are going to come take a look at him. We'll take a break. It is 22-0 in favor of TCA. We're back after this on 20 TV.
One part excellence, one part inspiration, one part preparation for outstanding education. Academy School District 20, where dreams take flight.
22-0 our score. TCA leads, 5 minutes, 49 seconds to go, quarter number 3. Matt Pauley, Brian German, Kara Hammer, entire 20 TV crew being led by our executive producer, Corey Morlock, this evening. And flags.
I'm not sure if Liberty moved first or TCA.
I think it's going to go against TCA, but I might be incorrect. It happens. And I would be incorrect. It's going to go against Liberty. As I said, it happens, Brian.
Once again, tough, though. Tough for Liberty. Just the mistakes holding them back tonight.
And they come at bad times. Not that a mistake is ever good, but a false start on 2nd and 1 is different than a false start on 1st and 10.
True.
So 1st and 15, ball at the 35. Waringa working out of the shotgun. He takes the snap. It is going to be a handoff. This is not Moore running up. Instead, it's going to be Burns running up the middle. And he gains a few yards.
Josh Burns doing a workman's job on defense tonight. He's only carried the ball 3 times. Now he's got a total of 11 yards.
2nd and 12. Hunter Waringa got the play. He's coming in to give it to his teammates. 22-0. The Liberty defense has stepped up. Now it's time for the offense to step up. Ball's at the 38, 2nd and 12. Receivers split out to each side. Waringa takes the snap. It's going to be a kind of an opposite handoff, and it eventually ends up with Cole Pelt. And Pelt gets to about the original line of scrimmage.
Like the play, a little bit of misdirection here. Nice to see Pelt getting the ball in there.
And I beg your pardon, I said original line of scrimmage. That and 4 more yards. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 6.
It's a 6-yard gain by Pelt. Big play here for Liberty. Let's get something going.
Yeah, we'll see. 3rd and 6, ball at the 44-yard line. Waringa back in the shotgun. He is looking to throw. He's under pressure right away. Gets around one. He's got running room. He's got the first down. If he wants it, he does want it, and he's eventually brought down into TCA territory.
Good job by Waringa on there. And, you know, TCA is getting pressure up the middle all night long, and Waringa's doing a great job of getting outside of that inside pressure and getting out of bounds. An 8-yard gain and a first down for Waringa.
You know, he kept looking throw maybe a little bit too long. When you got that much room in front of you, you just want to see just putting your head down and starting to run. It's a good thing he was able to get that first down.
Good job by the Lancers. They can keep this drive alive.
Yeah, back into TCA territory. 1st and 10. Ball at the 48. Clock is ticking with 4 minutes and 22 seconds to go here in quarter number 3. Waringa pitches it right side. This is Mercado. Mercado trying to get around. He spins. He's still up in the. He's still on his feet and eventually brought down close to the 35-yard line. Going to end up being a 12-yard run for Mercado. Look at this spin he's about to do.
Wow.
As he had everybody going, their momentum going in one direction, and he just shifted away from everybody.
4 Titans in there, and Mercado stops on a dime, gives him 9 cents change, and gets another 4 yards out of the deal.
22-0 the score. That's not bad. Ball at the 36. This is as good as Liberty has looked offensively tonight. Let's see if they can finish it off. Here's Warringah. Looks like he's running the option. He's just going to keep it, and he's brought back for a loss. And another loss at a bad opportunity.
Another job by Kyle Peterson there. Just coming up, he must have had the quarterback in this one, and he just took him. That's what you're supposed to do if you're going to stop the option offense. Everybody's got to take a man. Kyle Peterson's was Warringah, and he got him.
3.5 left in the quarter. Liberty's got a 2nd and 15, ball at the 41.
They had 1st and 15.
That is true.
They can get 2nd and 15.
Moore is in the backfield right now with Warringah. Does not look like Mercado's on the field at the moment. Warringah, he is looking to throw right side. He's got a man open. That's DeMay. And DeMay only gets about a yard before he's eventually brought down.
Good open field tackle by Christian Carlson right here. As DeMay tried to get upfield, but Carlson just hits him up top and drives with his legs through him and makes the tackle. Just a 2-yard gain on that completion.
So 3rd and 12, ball at the 38. Late substitution for TCA as Jonah Hollis gets in there, a 6'3 junior. 2 receivers to each side for Liberty. Warringah looking to throw. No, he's going to run that draw play again. There's a flag. He's going to get to about the 30 and then be brought down. I think that's going to be a hold against Liberty. We'll wait and get the official call from our white hat in just a moment.
Unofficially the 8th penalty against the Liberty Lancers tonight.
It's a lot of penalties.
It certainly is.
And we've still got 2:15.
And as you've said, they're coming at such inopportune times.
You know, if they get this play, that brings up a somewhat manageable 4th down. Instead, it's going to be 3rd and
forever.
What is this? It's going to be 3rd and 24 probably. We'll see the official. I'm not good with math, Brian. You know that.
Yeah, I do know that.
You just need to tell me to stop sometimes when I try to do math.
Might be 23. You might be.
I was
close.
3rd and 23. I'll take it. I'll take it. Are you kidding me?
Liberty not crazy about it, okay?
I'm just talking about the numbers.
Okay, all right.
Come on. This is Warringah in the shotgun. It's going to pitch it to Moore. Now they're going to do the reverse. It gets into the hands of Caldwell. Caldwell's got a block. He's got some room on the right side, and he's pushed out of bounds at the 40, still 3 yards short of the original line of scrimmage.
Not a bad play, though. I kind of like the reverse. And there you see Caldwell getting about an 11-yard gain. We got 4th and 12. That's manageable. It's manageable, Matt Pauley. I made that sound like a nickname for you. Manageable Matt Pauley.
Don't tell my wife.
Unmanageable Matt Pauley.
3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And now a whistle. And a timeout called by TCA. I don't think they were expecting him to go for it on 4th down.
4th and 12.
We'll take the timeout as well. We are back after this timeout on 20 TV. $22-0 is our score. 1 minute and 56 seconds left. Quarter number 3. TCA had called a timeout. I'll tell you what. There's a lot of side stories going on this evening involving kickers. Too much craziness for me to keep track of, but luckily we have Kara Hammer on the sideline. Kara, can you enlighten us with a little kicker knowledge this evening?
Well, I sure can, Matt Pauley. So AD of TCA, Gary Geiger, came over here and gave me the lowdown on what's happening with the kicking situation. In the first half, Josh Frank Moore was the kicker for TCA. That was because Anders Carlson and the punter, Titus Grant, were both at Harrison High School playing soccer. But now the soccer match is over, and both both Grant and Carlson are back in the stadium and will be playing here coming up at the end of the third quarter and the fourth quarter.
Huh, interesting. That's good stuff from Kara Hammer on the sideline. So they're going to play 1.5 games tonight. Here's Waringa with the football. He's under pressure, and he's still on his feet, but he's losing ground. Now he's just going to throw it down the field to nobody, but he saves at least a few yards there by doing that.
Yep, saved about 6 yards actually. So kind of a heads-up play there by Hunter Waringa, but he's just been running for his life all night long. And actually no one was downfield to throw it to, but just a good job there, and he's out of the pocket, just get rid of it. No intentional grounding, which TCA wanted. Some good stuff from Kara Hammer down there, and Anders Carlson, a really good soccer player, actually scored in the TCA game we had earlier this year on 20 TV against Lewis Palmer, had a nice header. Just letting you know.
22-0. I'll believe you on that. Here's a handoff up the middle, running room for Hall, and Hall gets across midfield. We understand that the brother also is now playing, or did play, at Auburn, who I'm not a fan of right now because they are playing my alma mater, Kansas State, in college football.
They're not just playing them.
You can be quiet. Here is a handoff to DeRay, trying to get around that right corner. Gets to about the 41-yard line and then being brought down. They do that a lot, and they've got such good blocking. You see just that wall of TCA guys when they run when they run around the corners.
Done a good job. First of all, if you're Liberty's defense, you got to figure out who has the ball. Then you got to figure out which way they're running with it. Then you got to try and get through those blockers and make a tackle.
A little bit of a issue when they gave it to Hall, but Hall's able to get away from it and run straight up the middle. He's got the first down and more. Watch this replay because they bump into each other, and he still comes up with this huge play, even after losing a couple beats of a second before eventually being able to run with that football.
The actually created a little more room, but the hole was still there once Hall got the ball.
So 51 seconds to go. As running is Alex Miller. He has more than doubled his total carries this year. He had 2 in the first 4 games for TCA. He's got a few tonight, and he didn't get very far on that play.
Josh Burns. If I got to pick a player of the game for Liberty right now, Josh Burns is all over the place on defense. Another tackle right there, stopping the TCA ball carrier for no gain.
Clock is running at 25 seconds. Now the snap to Burbick gets a handoff up the middle, and that in all likelihood is going to end up being the final play here of this first half, as once again it was Miller.
You know who got the tackle on that play? Take a guess.
Mr. Cuppett?
Josh Burns.
Josh Burns.
Josh Burns.
Okay.
Cuppett was getting a lot of tackles early in this game, and ever since it's been Josh Burns.
22-0 our score, with 11 seconds left in this third quarter. So a timeout was called.
3rd and 8. Liberty, if they can get a stop here, I'm telling you, we've seen now in the last 2 ball games, we've seen 7 quarters of football, and it's always the second 2 quarters of a game that the Lancers stiffen up and play a little bit better.
Yeah. I'm still kind of trying to figure out if maybe the wind blowing in the direction of TCA. I don't know. It was an odd timeout.
Unless it was for 11 seconds.
Yeah, but unless you just
unless you're going to throw the ball,
or if you're saying this is a really big play and we got to talk about it.
Up 22-0. We'll see.
3rd and 8, ball at the 27. Burvig in the shotgun. He is looking to throw. He throws over to the right side. He's got Weeks, but Weeks can't hold on. And that's going to bring up a 4th down now with 7.3 seconds.
Weeks took his eye off the ball there, but the Lancers really had this one defended well. He's there.
He's got to make that catch.
Yeah, but he makes the catch. Brett Brixler's just going to drive through his back. That's okay. 4th down. Maybe this is why they want to kick the field goal here.
Yeah, that looks to be the case, and now
Anders Carlson. Don't know if he scored tonight against Harrison, but he might have a chance to score here against Liberty.
He started in a soccer game tonight. He's going to finish in a football game. This is fun. You don't see this very often. So Carlson's going to appear in 2 games in 1 night. Snap is back, hold is down, the kick is up. He's got a leg. Oh, my gosh. And that is going to be no good, but not because of distance, because it was wide. That was an impressive kick, even though it didn't go.
Impressive stop by the Liberty Lancer defense as well, but Carlson does have quite the leg. TCA's got a pretty good soccer team as well, and wow, and we met Carlson's dad at that soccer game. Myself and Dave Toller got to call that one, and
so that's why I don't remember it.
Good family, the Carlsons.
Okay.
Wonder how many points his brother scored against your team tonight.
He doesn't play. He plays soccer, right?
I thought he played place kicker for the Auburn.
Oh, he's a kicker. Well then,
yeah,
they did not. Graduated TCA 2012, and he's at Auburn now. And here's a little trick play.
There you go.
There's some running room. Right side, still on his feet. Finally brought down for Liberty, Jerry Ned. First time we've called his name tonight.
Jerry Ned. Maybe need to get the ball in his hands as well.
Check this play
Nice little
out.
trick play here. A little quick reverse. That was a shovel pass. And Ned does a good job breaking 1 tackle. Can almost break a 2nd one, and a good 20-yard gain for Jerry Ned.
All right, we are through 3 quarters. It's 22-0. TCA leads, and we will have 4th quarter action next right here on 20 TV. $22-0 as we get set for 4th quarter action. Matt Pauley, Brian German. Kara Hammer is all things czar of kickers, and she is also our sideline reporter tonight. Corey Morlock is leading the rest of our 20 TV crew.
How many points does Carlson have against your K-State Tigers?
I don't know. Tigers? K-State Tigers?
Well, their Tigers are losing.
Be K-State Wildcats.
You can call whatever. No, you can call a cat whatever you want to call it when it's losing. That's my point exactly. He has 8 points, by the way.
It's a 1-touchdown game. Be careful. 2 receivers to each side. Here's a pitch to Mercado. Mercado left side looking for a hole. He gets around the corner. He's still on his feet. He's got the 1st down, and he's brought down in TCA territory. That's going to end up being a 14-yard run for Mercado.
Great job here by Mercado. Maybe a little bit of a hold there by Liberty, but he breaks a couple of tackles and just gets as many yards as he can.
Liberty's got to score on this drive.
That's a good point, Matt.
1st and 10, ball right at midfield. Waringa.
A cat is a cat, is what I'm trying to say.
Different kind of cats. Waringa bobbles the snap, and now he's in trouble. He's just got to get rid of this thing. He's all the way back at the 30.
Throw it.
This would be a 20-yard run.
He's
got a man open. That's Jeff DeMay. He's going to go all the way for a touchdown, taking a big block, and he goes in. What a play. 50 yards on the touchdown, really 70 yards because that ball was thrown from about the 30, and that gets Liberty on the board. What a play by Liberty.
Crushing block by Jeremy Caldwell, but it all starts because of Hunter Waringa getting away from the TCA players, running to the right. I was saying throw it just to get rid of it, but he had a man, DeMay, wide open, and watch the block here by Caldwell. You just saw the end of it there, just blowing up the Titan defender. That sends DeMay into the end zone, and that gets Liberty on the board. Jeff DeMay.
We might get a better view on the block on this angle here. He's at the 30-yard line when he throws this ball 20 yards back, and we'll see the block coming up here in just a moment. Maybe we won't, as he takes it in to the end zone to make it a 22-6 game.
Regardless, it was Jeremy Caldwell with the block, and the man is still down for the Titans on the field.
It was one heck of a block. Unfortunately, it has resulted in an injury. 22-6 is our score. We'll take a break and have more in a moment on 20 TV.
One part excellence, one part inspiration, one part preparation for outstanding education. Academy School District 20, where dreams take flight.
Look at the touchdown that Warringah kept the play alive with his feet. By the way, the player was Jorge, who eventually came off, and that's Jeff DeMay. And then we see that block, and we see him go in. Here's the extra point attempt. Snap. His back kick is up. Warringah splits the uprights, and it completes the touchdown play, the point after, for Liberty. And they are now down by just one touchdown and a 2-point conversion. It's 22-7 TCA.
Second half team that Liberty is. They're up 7-0 in this second half, and I tell you what, their defense has been playing well. If they can make another stop, you never know what can happen.
Oh, there's plenty of time left on the clock. 11 minutes and 33 seconds. Plenty of time.
Mark Seitz getting the team going. The Liberty Band, one of the best bands of the state every single year, getting everybody pumped up. 22-7. If you're a Liberty fan, you got plenty to cheer about right now.
You got to come up with a defensive stop and a relatively quick defensive stop here. Warringah will kick it away. Dre back deep. He's a threat.
Goodbye.
And this thing is out of the end zone. That was a bomb.
Our photographer, DJ Toller, ducked. He didn't really have to down there. He was way over his head. He was getting a little scared. Little scared.
He's ignoring you right now.
Of course he is.
Oh, he's got a smile on his face now. 22-7 is our score.
Lancer's got to come up with a big stop here on defense. If you're TCA, a nice long sustained drive, and this game is pretty much over.
11:33 to go. Let's see if they go back to running the ball. They start throwing the ball a little bit more, and they haven't been as good since. They're going to hand off on the first play, as that is Hall. Hall running left side, and he's brought down after a gain of about 4 yards.
4 yards will do it. Get 4 yards every play. You just need 3 for a first down. You keep the sticks moving.
Well, and they don't look like they really want to slow down that much. Sawyer Weeks is the receiver split out to the left side. It's going to be a run play up the middle.
DeRay may have that first down. Yep, they're moving him.
DeRay's very good on those angles coming around there. He doesn't really run straight ahead. He'll take it running laterally and then we'll turn it up. Under 11 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. 22-7 TCA leads. Liberty looking for a big defensive play. The handoff, running, left side, Hall. And Hall gets to the 36-yard line before being brought down.
Nice hit by Oskovic, bringing him down there. Nick Oskovic with a big hit.
So 2nd and 5. Sweep play. It's once again Hall. Hall doesn't have anywhere to go this time. He's going to lose a couple yards. And maybe that's that big play that Liberty was looking for, because now it brings up a 3rd and 7.
Huge play. This is a huge play for the Lancers if they want to get a stop here. And a big play for TCA if they can pick up a first down and keep those chains moving, keep that clock running.
Clock is running with less than 10 minutes. Sawyer Weeks split left. Bervig takes the snap. It's going to be a handoff. Losing the football is Miller all the way back at the 25-yard line. That's going to be a loss of 10 yards.
He just mishandled the handoff there. from Bervig. Bervig kind of tossed it. He could have just handed it to him. Bervig kind of tossed it, and it went away, and Maverick Mercado is dropping back deep to get the punt from Reese Plantenberg.
Plantenberg's back there to punt it away. And it goes over his head, and through the end zone. That's going to be a safety, and that's 2 more points on the board for Liberty. That makes it 22-9, and they're now in a position where 2 touchdowns would win it.
Wow. Big snap over the head. TCA, that was just their second punt attempt of the night. This one, the snap way over the head of the punter, luckily went out of the end zone because Liberty could have pounced on that one in the end zone and got a touchdown out of it. But as we stand now, it's 22-9, and the free kick will go to Liberty. And like you said, 2 touchdowns, they can win this thing. Tell you what, you've got to be happy right now. If you're a Liberty fan, you got to be getting juiced.
Plantenberg is 6 foot. He needed to be about 7'5" to get to that one.
Yep.
So a free kick will be coming up in just a moment. And let's see if Liberty can get Mercado's hands on this football.
You know they want to get Mercado's hands on this football, but TCA also knows they don't want to get Mercado's hands on this football. There's that Liberty band. I don't know if you can hear them in the background or not. The Lancers getting into it. The kids are getting into it. You got Jake Moore and Mercado back to receive this free kick.
So they will either punt or kick off from the 20. It looks like they're going to kick off. Generally, you see a punt in this situation, but evidently they are going to elect to kick off.
It's going to be Anders Carlson, who had a great kick, but he was with the wind last time. Let's see what he can do kicking it into the wind here.
Carlson will kick off. Again, as Brian said, Mercado and Moore standing back at their own 30-yard line. So no matter what, at worst, Liberty should have good field position here. At best, Mercado gets his hands on it, and who knows what happens. The kick. Good kick.
There's that wind grabbing it, and we got a whistle.
And a flag. I guess somebody was offsides. That's going to push him back 5 more yards. Can Carlson get that kind of kick?
Well,
again,
even if he does, once it gets up in the air, the wind is pulling it back. You can see the wind getting to our cameraman right here, just trying to show the white cap for us. And Carlson's brother celebrating victory as Auburn defeated the Kansas State Kitty Cats.
2014, unfortunately. There's a flag, the American flag, and you can see that thing is blowing in the wind. So then I'll kick from the 15-yard line.
It made Kara Hammer put her hood on down there.
Wow.
Holy cow.
That's serious stuff. 22-9 our score.
Here we go.
The kick, still a pretty good kick, and it's going to land out of bounds.
Whoa.
So kicking back at the 15, where would they place this?
This will be interesting. The 50 maybe?
I'm going to watch this one because I'm not going to try to guess here.
These guys should know more than we do.
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever seen a ball go out of bounds on a free kick.
Free kick, right.
Yeah, I think that's
they might have to re-kick.
So what, they re-kick at the 10?
Well, let's see. Yeah, we're gonna re-kick it, or that's what it looks like. Tell you what, pretty soon they'll be kicking off from the asphalt behind the end zone there.
Mercado just keeps inching closer and closer to midfield. So then they'll kick at the 10-yard line. Have you ever seen a free kick from the 10-yard line? The answer is no, Brian. You've never seen this.
I was racking my brain for a second. No.
I don't think Kara Hammer's probably seen it either. This is a new one for me.
She's about to see it, though.
Yep. Now, substitution on the kickoff team.
Anders Carlson. This could be the longest free kick ever.
The kick. Another good one. He booms it. And Moore back at the 30, can't handle it. Back to the 25, he picks it up. He's looking for his blockers. He doesn't have much back there. And man, that is an incredible job by TCA kicking from the 10. They're going to end up having Liberty with the ball at their own 25-yard line.
So the MVP tonight is whoever drove Anders Carlson from Harrison High School to District 20 Stadium.
That's a 75-yard net right there.
Pretty amazing.
That's
there's a good look at Carlson.
Huh.
That's okay. Liberty has the ball now. Plenty of time. 9 minutes, 4 seconds. On your own 25. You got the wind at your back.
9 minutes, 4 seconds to go.
There's an echo in here.
It's going to be a handoff, kind of. It ends up in Cuppet. And Cuppet, moving towards the 30, is eventually brought down.
Cuppet making some nice moves here. Gets by the original tackler, then spins inside. Gets about 3 yards.
Liberty's got to hurry, though. They're taking some time right now. They got to find urgency if they want to find a way to maybe win this game. 22-9 TCA. Receivers split to each side. The snap back. Waringa's looking to throw. He's throwing the left side, and he overthrows his intended receiver, Ryder Cuppet, who had a step on his defender.
Cuppet had a step, and so did Jeremy Caldwell going down the middle of the field. And Waringa made his choice and went with Cuppet, and then just didn't really put enough air under the ball to get it out in front of him. Cuppet trying his hardest to get there.
22-9 the score. 3rd and 7. Very important 3rd and 7 for Liberty. If they don't get this 3rd and 7, or if they don't convert, this may be 4-down territory, I don't know, but if they don't convert on this eventual next 7 yards, it's going to be very tough for them. 2 receivers to each side. Waringa is looking to throw. Pump fake. Now he's going to throw left side. It's intended for Caldwell, and he overthrows Caldwell by a solid 8-9 yards.
The wind at his back here, not really helping matters, is Waringa trying to just throw it downfield, and Caldwell, there's no way he was going to get underneath that one. 4th and 7. Looks like they're going to punt.
And that means David Giordano, the 6-foot senior, is back to punt. And that also means that back to receive is Nick DeRay, who's just as dangerous as Mercado.
Might want to keep it out of his hands.
Here is the punt. DeRay is going to have to go over to get it. It bounces, and DeRay is going to just let it be. It keeps rolling to the 15, and it's picked up. So Liberty's got TCA backed up, but TCA's got the football.
8 minutes left, but if Liberty can stop them again, and they stopped them, TCA's been not doing as well as they were in the first half. The Liberty Lancer defense has kind of shut down that running game. And the Titans aren't doing themselves any favors because they're still kind of running a hurry-up sort of offense. They're not taking their time and being more deliberate. We could be 4 minutes later into this fourth quarter than we are.
We'll see if David Burvig, their head coach, changes things up. Miller, who fumbled his last carry, doesn't fumble, but when he lost 10 yards on it, I beg your pardon, he took the handoff and he gains a couple yards.
Now let's see if the Titans will slow it up a little bit.
That was a lot more than I thought. That ends up being
an 8-yard gain.
Wow. He turned a little gain into a big gain. 7 yards officially. 2nd and 3. Handoff right up the middle. And not a lot of running room this time. The
Lancer defense, Josh Burns getting in there.
Jace Hall on the carry.
Josh Burns, first man to it.
So they stop him on 2nd and 3. And in fact, they turn it into a 3rd and 4. Here's the play. Liberty's got to stop him. Six minutes, 57 seconds to go. Liberty almost jumped. The handoff up the middle and nowhere to go.
Good stop again. Lancer defense Pretty much knew exactly that Hall was going to get this ball, and guess who? Josh Burns.
So that brings up
unofficially his 15th tackle of the night.
Wow. That's a lot of tackles.
Yes.
He's been all over the place.
Unofficially.
He comes in leading the team with 25 total tackles, 5 for loss. That's before tonight's action.
Now, if you're TCA, you are really worried about the deep snapper on this play.
Reese Plantenberg is back. The snap is back to Plantenberg, so the snapper does a nice job. And the ball's going to be picked up by Mercado. He called for the fair catch at his own 48. Liberty gets the ball back.
Just 6 minutes and 8 seconds left, but TCA didn't take much time off the clock there, just under a couple of minutes. Liberty got to do something here.
Yeah, you got to score in less than 3 minutes.
Okay. I wasn't really going to put time limits on it, but now that you say so.
Yeah.
Sure.
Do you not agree? Because then you score less than 3 minutes.
2 touchdowns in the next 6 minutes and 8
You
seconds.
give the ball back to TCA. They can run off a minute and a half off the clock. You get it back with a minute or so. That's how it has to work.
Whatever you say, Matt Pauly.
Thank you. Waringa. He's going to sweep it right side to Mercado, who's going to throw, and his throw is blocked at the line. It almost landed back into the hands in one of the offensive linemen. I think that's Matt Klein, who could have run with it if he would have. If Klein would have grabbed that thing. Here's another look at the play. Good deflection.
Great photography down there by Adam Parker to show us exactly where that ball went.
Nick DeRay on that play. It would have been fun to see Klein try to run that thing.
It would have been.
Instead, it brings up a 2nd and 10 with 6:01 left.
Adam Parker, I might say, shot that with one hand. He's got his other hand in his pocket down there. Looks a little chilly in his shorts.
Lannis Morissette style, one hand in the pocket.
You said it.
6:01 to go. 22-9 is our score. Here's a play over to Caldwell. Caldwell takes a block, gets past midfield into about the 46, and now a flag is going to...
Looked like the official was trying to pull his flag out. And
what is that?
It didn't come out.
The official had the flag in his hand, and then he decided not to throw it.
Here's Caldwell going down. I'm not sure what he was trying to call anyway.
See, he's got the right there. You could see him holding the flag. If you're going to pull the flag out of your pocket, you got to throw it out all the way.
Maybe that's what Adam Parker's trying to do, pull the flag out of the pocket.
It's like a baseball umpire who comes up like he's going to call a strike, and then he doesn't call the strike.
Hey, once again, it's a big 3rd and 7. It always seems to be 3rd and 7.
It really does. 5 minutes and 16 seconds to go. 3rd and 7, ball at the 49, 2 receivers to each side. Waringa's in the shotgun. He's got Mercado behind him. He is looking to throw. Now he's looking to run. He's going to go out to the right side. He throws. Nice. He's got a man open beyond the first down marker. That's Cuppet. And Cuppet has the first down. I don't know what Waringa... It was throw, run, throw, and he eventually, it goes off of his chest. I thought that was a completed pass. I beg your pardon.
Hunter Waringa, though, I give him this. He's got some poise out there. He's basically running for his life out there all night long, and he continues to get out of that trouble and eventually find some receivers. Unfortunately, that one bounced away from Cuppet.
Cuppet's got to make that play. That was essentially into the numbers. That was a good throw by Waringa. So 22-9, Cuppet is split out to the right side. Caldwell is split out to the left side. Waringa works out of the gun. Waringa takes the snap. He is looking to throw. He's going to throw right side. He's got Mercado, and Mercado gets stuck by Nick DeRay, who comes up and makes a big tackle.
That was a great tackle here. Watch this. Waringa gets it to Mercado in front of the sticks, though, and actually it's Burvig.
Yeah, Austin Burvig.
Who comes in there. He's been making plays on both offense and defense tonight. Makes the tackle, textbook tackle, lower the shoulder. Not crazy about the talking trash in front of his face there, though. Don't really need to have any of that.
Surprised the officials did not throw a flag on that play. (22-9) our score, 4:53 to go. And now Liberty's going to be looking for the strip. And the guy who just made that play in Burving, he's looking to throw. Throws down the middle, and it goes in and out of the hands of Alex Miller. Good defense by Liberty.
Good job back there by Brett Bixler on the coverage. Burvig tries to get it in there. Good job by 2 Liberty defenders on this one.
Oof. 4:47 left. 22-9.
I got a question to pass. 22-9,
Yeah.
you're ahead in this game. I don't know why you want to stop the clock.
Second and 10. Burvig comes to the line of scrimmage. Lone receiver out to the left side. It looks like they are going to run it this time, and they are with Carlson.
Nice tackle.
And Carlson comes
Guess
out
who?
left side. And once again, stepping up, Josh Burns. He comes up with the big tackle, 20-on-20 violence, I guess you can say. And with that, let's go down to Kara Hammer and get some extra information about Josh Burns.
Well, you guys have been calling his number all night, and you may not believe this, but starting out the season, Josh Burns actually tried his hand on the offensive side of things, leading as one of their starting running backs. He had over 100 yards rushing with 2 touchdowns, all because Mark Seitz came in as his first-year head coach, wanted to try him on offense, but Burns said he'd much rather play defense because he likes doing the hitting better than taking it.
He's certainly doing a fair share of that. Thank you, Kara. Burvig out of the shotgun, looking to throw. It's intercepted! It's intercepted! He may take it to the house, going all the way. Caldwell comes up with the big play for Liberty. And that makes this thing kind of interesting. Caldwell, the interception return for a touchdown. Just the 4th interception this season for Liberty.
Burvig throws that ball, and Caldwell just makes a beautiful play, cutting in front of it, catching it like the wide receiver he is, and running it, taking it to the house. TCA has been playing with fire. Not sure why they were doing this, throwing the football up 22-15, but we've got a penalty after the touchdown.
Yeah, personal foul against Liberty. It comes after the touchdown, so it will be assessed on the kickoff.
Was that a celebration penalty?
I don't know. All I saw was the official's personal foul.
If it's a celebration penalty, I have a little bit of an issue with it. If you're not going to give Burvig that, if you're not going to give Burvig the celebration after he made the tackle on Mercado,
yeah,
I mean, I'm not sure. But I didn't see the call, so I'm not sure. They're going to back up for the kick. Personal foul.
Oh, so they're not going to assess it on the kickoff
Touchdown's
instead.
good.
So they're going to assess it on the extra point instead. Your TCA can choose what they want to do, if they want to put it on the extra point or if they want to assess it on the – and what they're trying to do here.
22-15, kind of a big play. It's a 7-point game right now.
So if they don't get the extra point here – then they can't take the lead with a touchdown.
Yes.
I had to count with my fingers a little bit right there.
Of course you get – I saw that. It was distracting. 3:51 left. I mean, I don't know what Coach Burvig is thinking, putting the ball in the air with a 22-9 lead, and I kept wondering about it, and now I wonder if he's wondering about it.
34-yard extra point. Waringa's out there. This is a big, big play. Snap, back, hold down. The kick is up. It is
good.
Good. So the gamble backfires for TCA in the sense that they assess it on the extra point, and all of a sudden Liberty is down by just 6.
22-16, 3:51 left, onside. Your defense has been playing so well.
I think you do onside because of how well your defense has been playing. And you've got a kicker in Waringa who is a leader on this team. He's a junior. If you want to have a poised kicker who knows how to maybe get that onside kick, he might be the guy. But what's in the mind of Mark Seitz right now?
I have no idea, but you have when you have momentum, a lot of times people say if you have momentum, go for the onside kick.
Yeah.
Because when you have momentum, crazy bounces seem to happen for you. Liberty definitely has momentum right now. What a great play by Jeremy Caldwell.
Play of the game, maybe, and the return for the touchdown. Plays of the game. Liberty play of the game.
Liberty.
All right. Does not look like they're set up for the onside. That doesn't mean they can't do it. TCA is expecting an onside. It is the onside kick. The ball is loose. It's up in the air, and TCA is going to come down with it at the 30 8-yard line. Hands team was on, and Ryan Francis was there for the Titans to grab a hold of it.
A little bit of a longer kick there. Warenga did a great job because it really got the high bounce that you like to see, but the Lancers couldn't get far enough up the field in order to get their hands on this football. Good job by Ryan Francis to bring that one in for TCA. So now we'll see if the Titans keep the ball on the ground.
They probably should if they want to keep that clock moving, which obviously they want to. The quarterback is Burvig. It is going to be a handoff over to Hall. Hall doesn't have much room. He's brought down after a gain of 1.
And what's happening right now is the Lancer fans are getting into this. The stands are back into this football game, and so is that Lancer defense.
Clock is running, 3.5 minutes, 2nd and 9. 1 first down for TCA makes this very tough for Liberty. And nowhere to go once again. This time it's DeRay.
DeRay's going to lose a couple yards on that. Look at the Lancer defense. You're fired up. You're getting back in the backfield now. Just a host of Lancers. Dare I say a bevy of Lancers.
Good word.
Making the tackle in the backfield.
Timeout Liberty. They stop the clock with 3:13 left. They're going all in on making this 3rd down stop. It's going to be 3rd and 8.
Huge play.
So let's talk about TCA and their plan here for a second.
All right, talk.
You want that clock moving, but also you know if you get a 1st down, you're going to win this game in all likelihood.
And also in the back of your mind, if you are head coach Burvig or you are quarterback Burvig, the last time you threw the ball, the Lancers got 6. So if you're going to throw the ball, it better be a safe pass.
Is this the time for a screenplay or a draw because the defense is coming in so aggressive?
Quite possibly. If I'm TCA, I think I'd take my chances on a run. If you don't get the 1st down, you've got Carlson kicking this ball, and you can get Liberty pretty far back in their own end, and they've got only 3 minutes to go, however many yards, 80 or more.
And their wingback offense isn't really great for a draw-type play.
You can hear this crowd. They're into the game now.
You can feel it from our broadcast booth. It's shaken. 3rd and 8. Ball at the 40-yard line. Man goes in motion. Burvig's going to keep it himself, running left side. He's going to be short of the 1st down. Well, short of the 1st down. Big-time defensive play by Liberty. Coming up, making the play, and they're going to get the ball back down by 6.
Jeremy Caldwell. We said his name. He's part of the many people in there making that tackle, along with Nick Oskveric, who does a great job here. Oskveric makes the first hit. Caldwell there to help him out, as well as more Lancers. We got 4th down. They're going to have to kick it away, and I misspoke. It's not Carlson, it's Plantensburg.
And it's Mercado back deep to return.
You know he wants to touch it.
Snap is back, kick is up. Mercado is not going to have a chance to return. It takes a bounce in favor of Liberty. 31-yard line. They've got to go 69 yards in 2 minutes and 22 seconds, down 22-16.
Not an impossibility.
No.
They've scored from 50 yards tonight on offense when Warenga connected with Jeff DeMay for the touchdown. So they can do it. Hunter Warenga. And you know what? If they score a touchdown, the extra point would win it.
And we have seen Liberty be okay with trick-type plays. TCA's got to be aware of that. So they are going to be trying to stay at home. And now a whistle. A whistle. Hopefully that's not a Liberty timeout because that would waste a clock stoppage. And it is not. It's a TCA timeout. 22-16 is our score. Timeout on the field. We'll take it as well. We're back after this on 20 TV. 22-16, TCA leads Liberty. Liberty has the wind to their back, but let's go down to Kara. Kara, you're out in the elements right now. How is this weather going to impact Liberty?
Well, it's still a beautiful night out here. It's about 63 degrees with 10-mile-per-hour wind. But I tell you, both of these team stands are really heating things up.
All right, appreciate it. Warringah tried to throw over to his intended receiver, Sam Farrell, and Farrell could not handle the pass.
Fortunately, I think that Farrell let it get to his body. You got to catch it with your hands. If it gets to your body, it's going to bounce off those pads.
He was probably going to lose yards on that play anyway, so it might not have been the worst thing in the world that he dropped it. 2:19 left.
That only took 3 seconds.
2nd and 10, yes.
It's pretty amazing.
Amazing?
Yeah.
Okay. Outstanding, amazing. 2 receivers to each side. Warringah in the gun. He is looking to throw. Kind of a pump fake now. He's under pressure. Mercado gives him a block, gives him a little bit of time. He's got to throw. He sets up, and he throws down the sideline. He was looking for Ryder Cuppett, but he threw it short and low.
He had a couple players out there, and Warringah, again, after the pump fake, they're holding up a little bit longer, but he finally had some pressure, and now look downfield. He actually had Jerry Ned out there trying to get the ball to him, but just a little too hurried.
He's got to sell that fake a little bit more. He's just moving his shoulder. He's not, doesn't really look like he's actually faking.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not a quarterback coach, but
3rd and 10.
3rd and 10.
Liberty's used 11 seconds.
Ball at the 31. Obviously 4-down territory, so you don't have to get the first down here. 2 receivers to each side. Liberty's offensively has to make a play. It's going to be a handoff to Burns, and Burns comes up 4 yards short of the first down. It's going to bring up a 4th and 4 now. For TCA, this is for the game. For Liberty, this is just to keep the drive going, and we'll call it 4th and 5. Maybe even 4th and 6. Officially 4th and 6 on the scoreboard. We'll go 5.5.
Anything over 5 is 6.
Round up.
In the stat book.
22-16, huge play for Liberty. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Warringah takes the snap. He is looking to throw. He's under pressure. He's still up in the air, and he gets brought down at the 25-yard line. TCA's defense comes up and makes a huge play, and that's essentially going to end this one.
Kenny Plant gets the actual tackle and the original pressure. Luke Bethany, who's been harassing Warringah all night long, wouldn't let go of his jersey. Plant got his leg, brought him down. TCA looks like they're going to win it.
TCA will bring the offense onto the field one final time at the 25-yard line. I believe Liberty has one more timeout. It's going to be a handoff up the middle, and not much room, but it doesn't really matter for Hall.
All TCA has to do right now is hang on to that football. And, of course, Liberty is trying to strip it away.
And Liberty does take the timeout, which I believe is their last timeout of the game.
1:13 left, and you know the Lancer defensive coaches are going to tell them, tackle that football, get that football. That's what it's all about right now. You need the pigskin in order to score. Tackle the football, get the ball.
And even the guys there at the defensive line almost never works. But as soon as you see that ball starting to snap, you try to punch that thing free. This is Liberty had a chance. Liberty had a great chance to knock off a very good team in TCA.
Once again, Liberty wins the second half.
They do. I don't know how good that makes Mark Seitz and his coaching staff feel.
It's progress. You got to start with baby steps.
You do. And I would say Liberty has played better today than they did last week in their 34-12 loss to Coronado.
Definitely. Crowd's into it.
Here's another quick handoff up the middle. Hall's got some running room, and he's brought down inside the 20-yard line.
Big run there, really, for Hall. Liberty can no longer. Well,
okay, I was wrong.
You were wrong.
They have one more.
Another timeout. So
that is their last one.
Third and about 3 yards here. Liberty needs to come up with a big stop in order to still have a chance.
68 seconds left, 22-16. This has turned into a very good football game.
Certainly has.
After Liberty found themselves down 22-0, their defense really took control. Their defense scored one of their touchdowns, and now their defense is trying to help them come away with something miraculous here this evening.
Their defense has scored 8 points tonight, thanks to the safety, too.
Yeah.
Special teams.
Burvig takes the snap. It's a handoff, and running room right side, still on his feet is Hall, and that is a touchdown. 19-yard touchdown run for Jace Hall, and that officially ends this one, as TCA is going to come out of here with their second win of the year. Although there's a flag. I think the flag came after the touchdown. Let's wait and see. Maybe a holding call against the offense. That would bring it back.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. TCA.
Looks like they're now he's asking, do you want to walk it off on the kick, or do you want to put it on the extra point?
And it'll probably be on the kickoff.
Touchdown's good. And the foul will be assessed on the kickoff. 28-16 as Carlson is in to put the exclamation point, marker point, either one works, on this contest.
No matter what he does, he won't score as many points as his brother tonight. For Auburn against who? Who'd they play tonight again? I can't remember.
Princeton of the Plains, Kansas State University. 28-16. And the kick was blocked. Kick was blocked.
Of course, that's a dead ball in high school football. You cannot return that one, no matter how much I wanted to cheer for it.
You're used to watching collegiate football.
Collegiate football.
Yes.
Good block. And I think there's many, many good things that Coach Seitz can look at when they go back and look at this film. You might want to just throw out the first half, but the second half of these Lancers, what a resilient club. You're down 22-0. A lot of teams, you're 1-2 on the year. You're not having that great a season. A lot of teams can hang their heads. I think Coach Seitz has done a great job keeping these guys up, getting them back into this football game, into a position where they could have won this game.
28-16, and Liberty without any timeouts will get the ball one more time. Down 12. Jake Moore and Maverick Mercado back deep. This game is kind of slowed down as we've gone through the second half. Carlson will kick away. With 61 seconds left. Carlson. His kick. It is received at the 16 by Moore. Moore pitches to Mercado. Mercado gets around the corner, and here he goes. He's got 2 men to beat, and he's still on his feet, and finally he's going to be brought down at about the 24-yard line. Wow. That's the excitement we've been waiting to see from Mercado.
Jake Moore had the football, and I'm surprised TCA didn't see Mercado coming around there for the football, but it sure caught them by surprise, and he almost took that one to the house. As it is, they're in business on the 24-yard line.
If nothing else, and Liberty probably won't like it, but that play gets on film for future opponents. Not that anybody's shocked at the pitch back to Mercado.
You can't stop the kid. It's pretty good.
2 receivers to each side. Warringah looking to throw. He throws left side. He's got Caldwell. Caldwell spins around 1, and he's going to be brought down at about the 10-yard line.
Jeremy Caldwell still fired up from that nice interception return. Nice completion. Good tight spiral from Warringah. Caldwell breaks 1 tackle, tried to break 2.
14-yard completion. Receivers to each side. Clock is running, 38 seconds to go. Here's a pitch to Mercado, right side. Cuts back in, runs into a wall that is the TCA defensive line and is eventually brought down.
Clock continues to run. Lancer fans want another score here.
Ball is set. 2 receivers to each side. Warringah. Option, it looks like he may just keep it himself, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Hunter Warringah, the 6-yard run for the touchdown. And that makes it 28-22.
He got into the end zone. Good job here on the option play. Pretty much outruns Mercado and then just dives into the end zone. Good job by Warringah. And let's see if the Lancers don't go for 2 right here.
That'd give them 24, make it a 4-point game. That doesn't do much.
I don't know what makes sense, but
we know.
Seitz is talking to Warringah right now.
Warringah is the kicker, but he is looking like he is going to run a play. Huh. Okay.
Like I said.
Doesn't really matter either way. Not much difference at this point in a 6-point game, 5-point game, or 4-point game. Here's a fade pass out in the corner and going out of bounds was Cuppet. He caught it, but he caught it out of bounds.
Official thought about it. Actually, the left foot came down before the right foot, I believe, and Cuppet was out of bounds. Here's another good look at it.
Yeah.
Yep, left foot came down out of bounds. Warringah does a good job sending it right to that corner, but just pushes Cuppet a little bit further out of bounds. 12 seconds left. Onside kick and run it in.
We can't advance the onside kick.
Okay, onside kick, get the onside kick, and then run it in.
Yes. 28-22.
That's what I meant. 28-22, wow. You know, this turned into quite an exciting little football game.
It did. It really did. And TCA kind of dropped back into that prevent defense, and that's giving Liberty one final miraculous shot.
And Warringah did a good job with the onside kick last time.
So 12.3 seconds left. You also don't want this play to take a long time. You don't want to get it, get down.
Right. We'll see what happens.
6 guys to the left, 5 guys to the right of Warringah. Onside kick, it's up in the air.
Gets the bounce.
And it's going to go out of bounds. That's going to give it to TCA. They'll take a knee, and they'll finish this game off.
Again, though, I like the resiliency of the Liberty Lancers. I like what Coach Seitz has done with this team, and to keep their heads up, keep them in this football game. I know they lose tonight. TCA, on the other hand, a good win for them, but they can also learn some things from this second half. And how you got to just continue. You got to keep pushing your opponent until you put them away.
So 12.3 seconds left, and they're not completely in victory formation, but still, yep, they're going to take that knee, and that is how this one is going to end. TCA got out early, and they got out big early, and then Liberty came back. They could not finish the comeback, and they lose by a touchdown, 28-22. That's our final. We'll come back. We'll play some of the highlights, and we'll wrap things up. We'll do that next here on 20 TV.
One part excellence, one part inspiration, one part preparation for outstanding education.
28-22, our final score as TCA gets the win over Liberty. Matt Pauley, Brian German, our sideline reporter, Kara Hammer. Let's take a look at those second half highlights, and we'll start here with one of the plays of the game. Warringah just kept this thing alive. It started at the 50. He ran 20 yards back at the 30 and eventually threw this downfield to DeMay. DeMay makes the big play. It goes down as a 50-yard touchdown. Considering Warringah threw it from the 30, it's about a 70-yarder, but that is a touchdown as Liberty is able to come up with the big play there, and it started to look more and more like a game. It really started to look like a game after the snap goes over the head of the punter in Plantberg, and then here's Caldwell making one of the plays of the game, a defensive interception, and he's going to run it all the way back in for a touchdown. And at this point, Liberty was down by just 6. Warringah, the final touchdown run of the day. At this point, the game was just about out of reach, but that was the final touchdown, and it ends up being a final score of 28-22. Brian, this turned into, it started like a bit of a dud of a game maybe, but it turned into a good one.
Started out with TCA pretty much taking care of things with running the football. And by the way, their lead rusher tonight was Jace Hall, who carried the ball 20 times for 102 yards. Behind him, Nick DeRay, 11 carries, 66 yards, and Pat Yorgay with 3 carries for 40 yards. Austin Burvig for himself, the quarterback, had 5 carries for 37 yards. Liberty's stats, pretty amazing actually. Maverick Mercado had 13 carries, 77 yards. Cole Pelt, 1 for 6. Jeremy Caldwell, 2 for 11. Jerry Ned had 1 carry for 20 yards. Ryder Cuppett, 1 carry for 3 yards. Josh Burns had 4 carries for 14 yards. Jake Moore, 2 carries for 7 yards. And Hunter Warringah was 6 of 11, 117 yards, and a touchdown. But the Lancers fall by 6 points.
We do want to remind people, if you'd like to order this broadcast tonight, you can email us at 20tv@asd20.org or call us at 234-1780, 719 area code. $10 for DVDs, $15 for Blu-rays. You can also get connected with us on our various social media platforms, including YouTube, where we've already got some highlights from this game tonight up there. And as far as what's going on moving forward, we have another game tomorrow night, Brian.
We certainly do. Pueblo East and Discovery Canyon, I believe a rematch from last year's playoff game. Should be a good one.
It should be. It's a good one tonight. Liberty comes back, doesn't come back all the way. TCA picks up their 2nd win of the year. For Brian German and our sideline reporter, Kara Hammer, for our entire 20 TV crew, I'm Matt Pauley saying good night from District 20 Stadium. Final score, 28-22. TCA gets the win over Liberty. We'll talk to you again tomorrow night right here on 20 TV.